At the dinner party, my whole family heard my conversation with this damn system. You know about your eldest sister, He Wanqing, right? She's getting cheated on. My eyes widened in shock on the spot. As far as I know, her fiancé, Jiang Xiying, is the perfect son-in-law in our parents' eyes. As soon as I thought that, He Wanqing, who was sitting across from me, instantly straightened her back, looking proud and arrogant. Her fiancé was publicly recognized as the ultimate model of a good man. Who knew the system would mercilessly roast him? Anyone can put on an act. It's not like you can read his mind. He Wanqing's nails instantly dug into her palms. She slammed her hand on the table. He Jingchen, what nonsense are you spouting? I shuddered in fear. Eldest sister, I didn't say anything, but in my heart, I was frantically complaining. We're doomed. This girl just explodes out of nowhere. No wonder Jiang Xiying couldn't handle her. Right at that moment, my third sister, He Duo, kicked me hard under the table. Shut up and eat your food. I was completely baffled, so I got up and slipped into the kitchen to get more rice. In my mind, I urged the system. Lil sis, hurry up and tell me. How far have those two gone? The system chuckled mischievously. Master, those two are still on their date right now. Behind me, He Wanqing's face instantly turned deathly pale. She couldn't listen to any more of this. She rushed into the bathroom to call Jiang Xiying, but after dialing over a dozen times, no one answered. Despairing, she walked out of the bathroom looking completely devastated and went straight upstairs. But right at that moment, my inner voice echoed through the whole house again. Oh crap, eldest sister is acting weird. Lil sis, give me the latest update. Quick, the system replied instantly. Host, she's probably caught on. She was just frantically calling him. I waved my hand and said, well, of course he didn't answer. Jiang Xiying is a little busy right now, okay? As soon as that thought dropped, my sister's faces instantly turned as black as the bottom of a pot. And upstairs, He Wanqing was so furious, she slammed her door shut. With a massive times bang, I sensed the atmosphere was off. I quietly asked the system, Lil, sis, don't you think the vibe in this house is a bit weird? The system replied cheekily, reporting to the host. It didn't just drop. It's absolutely freezing in here. In the blink of an eye, it was 2 a.m. My father, He Guochang, saw the message sent by Wang Bo, and his anger instantly flared up. That bastard! How dare he bully a daughter of the He family? Cursing up a storm, he stormed toward eldest sister's room. Inside the room, the call finally connected. A greasy voice came from the other end of the line. Baby, I was busy just now. My phone was on silent, so I didn't hear it. He Wanqing's voice was as cold as ice. What were you busy with? Jiang Xiying immediately spun a lie. I'm inspecting a project. I'm discussing a collaboration with a big boss. Hearing him say this, He Wanqing's tense nerves were just about to relax when her bedroom door was violently kicked open. He Guochang burst in with an ashen face. Wanqing, that punk Jiang Xiying is at the Tiansheng Hotel right now. Let's go see for ourselves. Hearing this, He Wanqing's face filled with disbelief. Her body went limp, and she collapsed. Fortunately, He Guochang was quick enough to catch her. The commotion woke up the entire family. When the sisters heard the news, they started cursing him out on the spot, and the deafening shouts and curses violently yanked me right out of my dreams. I had just opened my door, and before I could even react, third sister He Duo grabbed me and dragged me downstairs. In the car, I cautiously poked my head forward and asked, where exactly are we going? My mother, Sun Guiji, gritted her teeth and said, Jingshin, that bastard Jiang Xiying bullied your eldest sister. What? Hearing this, I instantly woke up. Wait a minute, how did you guys find out? In the front seat, He Wanqing suddenly turned her head. Her glare was so cold it could scrape off 3 layers of ice. I tactfully shut my mouth immediately, but in my mind I was calling out, Lil sis, how the hell did they find out? The system replied helplessly, Host, this question is beyond my syllabus. Just then, He Guochang, as if seeing right through my thoughts, took the initiative to explain. Jingchen, earlier your eldest sister called him and he didn't answer, so I had Wang Bo look into it. And what do you know? We found out this bastard is at the Tiansheng Hotel, fooling around. I curled my lips in my mind. He got exposed just like that? Jiang Xing's anti-reconnaissance skills are way too weak, but He Guochang suddenly coughed twice, interrupting my internal roasting. Jingchen, later, I want you to be the first one to charge in. I was dumbfounded on the spot. Dad, you want me to lead the charge? You've got to be kidding me. Sun Guiji quickly explained. Jingchen, your dad sees that you're big and tall. He wants you to go in and pin the guy down. For a moment, I was completely speechless, but thinking about it carefully, that logic was actually pretty hardcore. It didn't take long to reach the hotel. The whole family charged upstairs to the room door, radiating murderous intent. He Guochang shot me a look. Jingchen, go. I had no choice but to bite the bullet and knock on the door. Hello, your takeout is here. Inside, Jiang Xiying paused. Baby, did you order takeout? Zhao Yaqi replied lazily. No, I didn't. Why don't you go check? Jiang Xiying walked to the door impatiently. The moment he unlocked it, I charged in with all my might and pinned him firmly to the ground. When He Wanqing saw the situation inside the room, how could she not understand what was going on? Her legs gave out, and she slumped directly onto the floor. Tears burst from her eyes on the spot. Jiang Xiying scrambled and crawled to his knees in front of her. Wanqing, listen to me, I can explain. He Wanqing's eyes turned icy cold. She raised her hand and delivered a resounding slap. Why? Why would you do this to me? Jiang Xiying frantically pointed at Zhao Yaqi as if grasping at a lifeline. It was her. She's the one who seduced me. Bullshit. He duo said coldly. Jiang Xiying, from this day forward, don't you ever dream of stepping half a foot into the He family's door again. Hearing this, Jiang Xiying's face instantly turned as pale as paper. He knew it was all too late, but right at that moment, a voice full of hatred suddenly exploded. Jiang Xiying, you bastard. You're gonna die a horrible death. Zhao Yaqi's face was written all over with fury. You're the one who tricked me into coming here, and now that you're caught, you want to throw me under the bus? Jiang Xiying, even if I become a ghost, I will never let you off. You're worse than an animal. He Guochang spat viciously. Then, with an ashen face, he turned to Zhao Yaqi. His voice was filled with ruthlessness. And you better keep your mouth shut about what happened today. Otherwise, I have 100 ways to make you disappear from the face of the earth. Terrified, Zhao Yaqi desperately covered her mouth. She knew he, Guochang, would absolutely do as he said. Back in the car, Sun Guizi looked at her daughter, who was so heartbroken, and felt terrible herself. Wanqing, stop thinking about it. Just forget about him. He Duojuo also held her eldest sister's hand, comforting her softly. Eldest sister, a scumbag like him isn't worth a single tear from you. Lin Wanru's face was so haggard it made one's heart ache. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. But right at that moment, a thought popped into my head. Eldest sister really has it rough. But as for Jiang Xiying's affair, I mean, with a body like Zhao Yaqi's, what man could resist? In an instant, the gazes of everyone in the car swiveled and locked entirely onto me. I was so scared I literally shuddered. I stammered. Why are you all looking at me? He Duo quickly elbowed me, shooting me a murderous glare that clearly said, hurry up and comfort your eldest sister. I sighed helplessly and squeezed out a smile uglier than crying. Eldest sister, what's there to be sad about? It's not your fault. This is just a mistake that every man in the world makes. As soon as those words left my mouth, everyone in the car was dumbfounded. He Guochang was the first to lose it. Jingchen, you can't just spout nonsense like that. Take your dad, for example. In my whole life, I've only ever been good to your mother. Oh ho, he's getting defensive. I sneered in my mind and immediately called the system. Lil sis, quick, look it up for me. Does my dad have any shocking scandals? As soon as the thought dropped, Sun Guiji and my sister's ears instantly perked up. He Guochang was so scared his old leg pain flared up, and cold sweat poured down his face. But the system said, scan complete. He Guochang currently has no dark secrets. However, next month is your parents' wedding anniversary, and he secretly prepared a huge surprise. I immediately looked disgusted. What kind of gossip is that? Boring. Meanwhile, He Guochang let out a long sigh of relief. A smug smile instantly appeared on his lips. A hint of a shy smile also flashed across Sun Guiji's face. Even eldest sister's tense face softened quite a bit. Back at the He family mansion, the true young master, He Xiaofeng, came running over eagerly. Mom, Dad, you're finally back. Where did you guys go? He Guochang brushed him off casually. Nowhere. Just went out to handle some business. Shen Yushan also chimed in with a smile. We saw you were sleeping, so we didn't wake you. I see. He, Xiaofeng replied obediently, but behind his back, his hands quietly clenched into fists. Hatred surged in his heart. He Jingchen, just you wait. Sooner or later, I'm going to kick you out of this house. Early the next morning, in the living room, He Xiaofeng's gaze swept over the sisters, finally landing on fourth sister, He Jia. Fourth sister, what are you drawing? Can I take a look? However, He Jia completely ignored him. Her brows were tightly knit as she focused on modifying her design draft. He Xiaofeng only took one glance, and memories from his past life instantly flooded his mind. Just as he was about to open his mouth to show off and give pointers, I calmly shot him a glance. Lil sis, what's the situation with fourth sister? The system replied instantly, reporting to the host. Your fourth sister is designing a haute couture dress, but there's a clash in the pattern integration. That punk He Xiaofeng is trying to butt in and give blind directions. Oh crap. If he manages to win over all the sisters, won't I, the villain, be totally screwed? I need to make some quick cash and run away. The system calmly prompted, host, don't panic. The problem is that the pattern style doesn't match the dress. All she needs to do is change the pattern style, and it'll be perfect. I couldn't help but mutter in my heart, such a simple problem. Would my fourth sister really not see it? He-Jia's fingers holding the pen suddenly paused. She scoffed coldly in her heart. This brat actually dares to look down on me. The system immediately explained. It's not that she can't see it. It's because her design style is too aggressive. She always wants to add a sharp edge to softness. But this particular dress requires pure softness. Oh ho, I get it. So her occupational habit is acting up. Hearing this, a flash of inspiration struck He-Jia's mind. The corners of her mouth unconsciously curled up into a smile of sudden realization. The next second, she buried her head in the screen and started working. Beside her, He Duojuo and He Yuding exchanged a glance, their faces full of shock. This guy's inner voice hit the mark perfectly again. Meanwhile, He Xiaofeng thought it was his own doing and pointed at the screen, continuing to show off. Fourth sister, look, The lines of this Byzantine scroll pattern are too rigid. It completely clashes with the dress. But Hijia ignored him entirely, completely so immersed in the thrill of modifying her design. The smile on her lips grew wider and wider. He Xiaofeng, however, took this smile as a sign of approval for himself. He even shot me a provocative glance, feeling incredibly smug in his heart. See that? This is my true skill. Right at that moment, He Guochang spoke up. Xiaofeng, take the keys to this Rolls-Royce Phantom. He Xiaofeng was instantly ecstatic. He took the keys and deliberately dangled them in front of my face. I instantly turned into a sour lemon on the spot. Who wouldn't want to drive a luxury car and take girls out for a joyride? The system immediately reminded me, host, stay calm. You have a car too. Hurry up and recall the plot details. I froze for a moment, then frantically dug through the depths of my memory. My eyes instantly lit up. A Cullinan. Ha ha ha. Oh my god. My sisters watched my face go from bubbling with jealousy to beaming with joy in a split second. They couldn't help but secretly curl their lips upward. A little while later, the family gathered around the dining table for breakfast. He Guochang put down his chopsticks. Jingchen, Xiaofeng, this afternoon the two of you will go report to Jiangcheng University together. My motion of gnawing on a chicken leg instantly froze. Can't I just go by myself? He Xiaofeng immediately put on a pitiful expression. Dad, does big brother not want to go with me? Sun Guiji's face instantly darkened. Xiaofeng, don't overthink it. You two are brothers, you should take care of each other. Mum, I understand. He Xiaofeng immediately lowered his head obediently, but secretly, he was seething with malice. Mom and Dad still don't trust me enough. If this were my past life, He Jingchen, you would have been kicked out long ago. The four sisters quietly ate their food on the surface, but in their hearts, they had long seen right through He Xiaofeng's little green tea act. That afternoon, in front of the garage, He Xiaofeng leaned against his Rolls-Royce. The corners of his mouth curled into a smug arc. But right at that moment, a massive black SUV slowly drove out. The driver, Old Wang, waved at me. Eldest young master, your car is ready as well. Thanks, Uncle Wang. I patted the hood of the car. He Xiaofeng, your Phantom is really beautiful. So compact and exquisite. Unlike mine, it's way too bulky. The smile on He Xiaofeng's face instantly froze. His face turned green with anger. He's definitely doing this on purpose. Where did He Jingchen get a Cullinan? Mom and Dad are way too biased. He Guochang shook his head helplessly, but secretly clicked his tongue in wonder. A Cullinan. When did Jingchen get his hands on this car? He hit it pretty well. He Xiaofeng forcefully suppressed the fury in his heart and dove headfirst into his Maybach. Meanwhile, my mood was absolutely soaring. Uncle Wang followed He Xiaofeng's car. The two top-tier luxury cars, one after the other, roared toward Jiangcheng University. Inside the Maybach, He Xiaofeng's eyes were so gloomy they could drip water. Why? He's just an outsider. Why does he get to drive a Cullinan? Those things should all belong to me. I must get Mom, Dad, and my sister's approval faster. I must trample He Jingchen completely under my feet as soon as possible. At the same time, back at the He family villa, third sister He Duo stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, holding a cup of coffee. Number 6's Cullinan is pretty interesting. Fourth sister He Jia didn't even look up. When it comes to pissing people off, he's a professional. Didn't you see He Xiaofeng's face? It was practically twisted with anger. Fifth sister He Yuding scrolled through her phone and coldly spat out 2 words. Serves him right. He Wanqing's eyes were as sharp as knives. That kid He Xiaofeng has impure intentions. The way he looks at Jingchen, the hatred is practically overflowing. Mom and Dad always feel like they owe him, so they're easily deceived by him. We need to keep a close eye on him. Eldest sister is right. He Duo tapped her fingertips lightly on the table. However, Number 6 is entirely focused on running away. He can forget about it. He Jia's eyes flashed. With us sisters here, do you think we'd let him escape? The sisters instantly understood each other, their smiles full of calculation. 30 minutes later, at the university's freshman registration desk, He Xiaofeng spoke to his sweet-looking senior. Hello, senior. I'm He Xiaofeng from Business Management Class 1. The senior, with a bun, nodded. Help me find the materials for He Xiaofeng from Business Management Class 1. The senior next to her immediately started flipping through a pile of rosters. Right at that moment, the senior's gaze landed on me. The student in the back. What's your major? Finance Class 1, He Jingchen. The bun-haired senior's eyes instantly lit up, and her voice went up 8 octaves. You're the top scorer of the college entrance exam? Oh my god. Come. Here are your keys and materials. Welcome to Jiangcheng University. I politely thanked her, but in my heart, I was wondering, why is He Xiaofeng taking so long? Are these rosters sorted by surname strokes or something? The system suddenly chimed in, reporting to the host. That's because he's in Class 2. I couldn't hold it in, and burst out laughing with the times puffed to He Xiaofeng's ears. This laughter was naked mockery. He whipped his head around, his face flushed red. What are you laughing at? My eyes darted around, and I deliberately leaned in, lowering my voice. Little brother, want to know why I'm faster than you? Transfer me $10 so I can buy a bottle of water to wet my whistle, and I'll tell you. How about it? He Xiaofeng was so angry his voice trembled. He Jingchen, don't push it. Listen or don't, up to you. I'm leaving then. I lifted my leg, ready to walk away. Wait, He Xiaofeng gritted his teeth and quickly transferred me $10. Now you can tell me right. I wore a wicked smirk. Because you're in Class 2. As soon as the words left my mouth, the senior next to us called out, in confusion. "Student, are you sure you're in Class 1? In the Business Management Class 1 roster, there's no one named He Xiaofeng." I couldn't hold it in anymore and burst into loud laughter on the spot, turning around and walking away smoothly. He Xiaofeng's face turned blue and white. "Senior, I'm sorry. I remembered wrong. I'm in Business Management Class 2. The senior suddenly realized. "Oh, no wonder I couldn't find you. Class 2's roster is over here." After getting his dorm key, He Xiaofeng fled in a panic. Meanwhile, I had just arrived at my dorm. I pushed the door open, and a pale, fleshy wall smacked right into my face. A chubby guy slowly turned around, grinning enthusiastically. "Oh hey, the new roommate is here. I'm Han Yu." I forcefully suppressed the what the F times CC in my heart and squeezed out a smile. "I'm He Jingchen." Han Yu smugly waved his phone. "I got here yesterday. The seniors welcoming the freshmen are top tier. I even managed to get a copy of the Jiangxing University Campus Bell Guide." But as he swiped on his phone, he suddenly frowned. "Bro, you've gone viral. You're famous all over the school now." I didn't even turn my head and said calmly, "Wasn't that bound to happen sooner or later? With the halo of the top scorer, even if I wanted to keep a low profile, my skills wouldn't allow it." "No, that's not it." Han Yu's voice cracked in panic. "You're getting roasted to death." My head was instantly full of question marks. What did I do? Who did I offend? Han Yu handed his phone straight to me. On the screen was the freshman group chat. He Jingchen, that top scorer? Isn't he just the fake young master of the He family? The real young master has already returned home, yet he's still shamelessly clinging on and refusing to leave, occupying someone else's nest and still acting so arrogant. The He family really raised an ungrateful wretch. I stared at these filthy words, and my blood pressure instantly spiked. "Lil sis, look into this immediately. Find out which bastard is stabbing me in the back." Han Yu cautiously leaned in. "Bro, are you really the adopted son of the He family?" "That's right." I curled my lips into a cold sneer. "What, you scared? Scared of getting dragged down for sharing a dorm with me?" "Scared my ass." Han Yu sprang up. In a flash. Han Yu, might be a bit chubby, but I've got a sharp eye for people. It's obvious someone is deliberately messing with you. Just say the word. What do you need your bro to do? Looking at him like this, the anger in my heart subsided significantly. "All right, fatty. You're a real bro." Right at that moment, the system's voice rang out in my mind. "Host, the source has been locked on." It was He Xiaofeng crying to his roommate, Lin Yu. Lin Yu stood up for him and started leading the rhythm in the freshman group to smear you. I knew it was him. A cold glint flashed in my eyes, trying to make things hard for me right at the start of school. Consider this beef officially started. Then as I packed my things, I casually chatted with Han Yu. "By the way, fatty, got any plans for tonight?" "Of course there is." Han Yu instantly perked up. "The finale of tonight's freshman gala is none other than our Jiang University's campus bell, He Yuting." My hands paused abruptly while organizing my books. Fifth sister is actually at Jiang Yu. Han Yu, however, was staring at me with shining eyes. "My dearest bro, help a brother achieve his dream. Just get me a photo with the goddess." I quickly begged for mercy. Stop. My relationship with my sisters is super tense. I really can't help you with this." But how could Han Yu let me off that easily? He grabbed my arm and shook it violently. I was shaken until my head spun. I could only surrender. "Fine. I promise you, okay? Let go already." Han Yu's chubby face instantly bloomed into a massive grin. "You're my absolute best bro. Dinner's on me tonight." In the blink of an eye, it was dark. We barely managed to snag 2 seats in the corner before our butts even warmed the seats. The gala kicked off amidst passionate music. "Next up, please welcome our Jiang Yu's campus bell, He Yuting." The entire venue instantly erupted. In the center of the stage, He Yuting gracefully picked up the microphone. The intro played. Her ethereal voice, tinged with a hint of huskiness, pushed that feeling of regret and relief to the absolute limit. As the final note dropped, thunderous applause filled the hall. Just then, the host walked up onto the stage, beaming. "Next up is our interactive segment. The big screen will randomly select one lucky audience member to sing a duet with our goddess Yuting." The rapidly spinning wheel tugged at everyone's heartstrings. A few seconds later, a giant number froze in the center of the screen. 26. The crowd instantly broke into a commotion, frantically looking down at their seat numbers. Han Yu looked down and saw he was number 25, but the next second, he burst into wild ecstasy. He slapped me hard on the back. "Holy crap. Badass. Number 26. It's you?" That slap almost sent me to the floor. "Fatty, do you have to be this excited?" "I'm just excited for you, man." Han Yu pushed and shoved me right out of my seat. Under the gaze of thousands of eyes in the venue, I walked toward the stage with a look of utter despair. The blinding spotlight made it hard to keep my eyes open. I subconsciously looked up, and my eyes met He Yuting's. The corners of her mouth seemed to curl into a faint smile. I muttered in my heart, "System, was she just smiling?" The system accurately delivered a critical hit. "Host, He Yuting did indeed smile just now. The reason is that she found your posture walking up to the stage a bit funny." "System, I'm not done with you," I roared silently in my heart. The host opportunely handed over a microphone. "This lucky student here, how about a quick self-introduction first?" I took a deep breath and squeezed out a smile uglier than crying. My name is He Jingchen." As soon as the words left my mouth, the audience exploded like a boiling pot. "He Jingchen? Isn't he that fake young master? How did he get up there? So shameless. Listening to the buzzing murmurs, I got pissed off. I knew this would happen. The system's efficiency was absurdly high. Host, the source of this is the student council president, Zhao Qiang. He's been pursuing He Yuding, but got rejected. He Xiaofeng tricked him into believing that you also have feelings for He Yuding. Zhao Qiang blew his top when he heard that and set up this trap for you. Hearing this, I was so furious I almost cursed out loud on the spot. I like He Yuding. That bastard. Does he not even need a draft to spread rumors? Beside me, a flash of anger crossed He Yuding's beautiful eyes. Zhao Qiang. He Xiaofeng's schemes are really loud and clear. Seeing the commotion below growing louder, she suddenly took a step toward me. Her voice rang clearly across the hall. Which song do you want to sing? I subconsciously replied. A little sweet. He Yuding nodded gently, signaling the backstage to play the music. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Scared me to death. Fifth sister's aura on stage is like a completely different person from that sharp-tongued snake at home. The smile on He Yuding's face instantly froze. This brat actually dares to call me sharp-tongued in his head. He Jingchen. Just you wait. Meanwhile, I was still clueless, only feeling the temperature around me inexplicably drop a few degrees. The music intro started playing. He Yuding's ethereal voice slowly drifted out. I took a deep breath and joined in the duet. Though my voice trembled a bit, it carried a youthful innocence. The noisy chatter from the audience surprisingly quieted down without anyone noticing. 3 minutes later, the duet ended perfectly. The entire venue erupted in thunderous applause. He Yuding grabbed my wrist incredibly naturally and pulled me right to the center of the stage. I was completely dumbfounded. Fifth sister. What are you doing? You're maxing out my aggro right now. Hearing my inner wails, the curve of He Yuding's lips deepened, revealing a wicked smirk of a successful prank. After bowing side by side, I was just about to turn and slip away, but He Yuding grabbed me and dragged me quickly off the stage. Fifth sister. Slow down. Where are you taking me? Backstage, she turned around with a wicked smirk. Sixth brother. The student council has an internal dinner party later. You're coming with me. Zhao Qiang's face instantly flashed in my mind. Forget it. Fifth sister. I just got here and don't know anyone. He Yuding's face instantly filled with disappointment and grievance, and her voice softened. Sixth brother. Fifth sister just wanted to introduce you to some people. Are you really not willing? Here we go again with this fake sibling guilt trip. No way in hell. Just as I opened my mouth to refuse, He Yuding suddenly looked up. 5 million. Come with me, and I'll give you 5 million. The moment those words came out, my eyes instantly lit up. I was just worrying about not having runaway funds. The system opportunely sent its blessing. Congratulations, host, on soon acquiring a 5 million runaway fund. He Yuding looked at my money-grubbing expression and rolled her eyes hard in her mind. It's a deal, fifth sister. You are my absolute favorite sister. I immediately patted my chest and promised. However, at this moment, a figure suddenly rushed out from the shadows. Zhao Qiang could no longer suppress the jealous fire in his heart. Yuding, this is an internal student council dinner. It's not really appropriate for you to just bring an outsider, is it? Some things are none of your business, Zhao Qiang. I advise you to stop playing those little tricks from now on. With that, she pulled me straight out of the backstage area. Zhao Qiang's face turned pale and green in turns. Yuding knows I arranged the duet. How could she know? It must be that bastard He Jingshen snitching on me. Half an hour later, inside a restaurant private room, just as He Yuding and I pushed the door open, a senior girl suddenly hugged her arm. Yuding, you're finally here. I've been waiting for you forever. He Yuding just replied indifferently. Something came up on the way. My eyes instantly went wide. This senior is way too beautiful. She's literally walking hormones. These little dirty thoughts were immediately seen through by He Yuding. She frowned and discreetly elbowed me, hard in the ribs. Ouch. Fifth sister, what are you doing? I grimaced in pain. He Yuding didn't even reply to me and directly started introducing us. Shiyu, this is my brother, He Jingchen. Sixth brother, this is my roommate and best friend, Lin Shiyu. Lin Shiyu dragged out her tone, her eyes brazenly scanning my body. So you're the one I've heard so much about, huh? I've heard a lot about you. Nice to meet you, Shi. You. I could only squeeze out a polite smile. On the side, He Xiaofeng watched us chatting happily, and a nameless rage shot straight to the top of his head. Why? He's clearly the legitimate son of the He family. Why does fifth sister only have eyes for this fake? Fine. Since she looks down on me so much, then don't blame me for preparing a big gift. Thinking of this, He Xiaofeng lowered his head, the corners of his mouth curling into a sinister arc. I keenly caught that hostile gaze. Oh, isn't this little brother Xiaofeng? How did an outsider like you sneak in here? He Xiaofeng's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot. Aren't you the same? You're not in the student council either. What right do you have to talk? Zhao Qiang quickly stepped out to smooth things over. Xiaofeng has outstanding abilities. He's always wanted to join us. As the president, I specifically brought him here to see the world. I mercilessly exposed him. Getting familiar in advance? Isn't that just going through the back door? I know all about that. Zhao Qiang's mouth twitched. He Xiaofeng was so angry his whole body was trembling. At the critical moment, He Yuding spoke up with a cold face. Oh, since everyone is here, let's all sit down. As soon as that powerful aura emerged, who would dare to act out? Everyone immediately quieted down and took their seats. Han Yu hugged the roast duck and gorged himself, his mouth full of grease as he mumbled, This roast duck is absolutely divine. I looked at him with a face full of disgust. With your build, you still dare to eat like that? Careful not to break the chair. This is nothing. Han Yu retorted indistinctly with a stuffed mouth. On the other side, Lin Shiyu was holding her phone up to He Yuding. Yuding, the group chat says your brother is a vicious fake young master. How does he look like one? He's handsome and a top student. It'd be a pity not to go after a guy with these specs. What group chat? He Yuding frowned tightly. Here, see for yourself. Lin Shiyu handed the phone straight over. Who knew that after He Yuding read those chat logs, her face would suddenly turn ice cold? Stay away from him. Don't get any funny ideas. Lin Shiyu looked completely bewildered. Why? Didn't you hate him the most before? Now you're protecting him like a treasure. Just shut up. He Yuding flicked her hard on the forehead. He is my brother. Anyway, he's off limits. You stay away from him. While the two beauties were joking around, in the corner, He Xiaofeng and Zhao Chang exchanged a glance. Immediately after, Zhao Chang picked up a glass of red wine and walked toward He Yuding with a smile. Yuding, I was in the wrong earlier. I sincerely apologize to you. It's fine. Considering they were colleagues, He Yuding clinked glasses with him, tilted her head back, and downed it in one gulp. Let bygones be bygones. Not far away, I was gnawing on a rib and watching the show, when my right eyelid suddenly started twitching wildly. System, what is this bastard up to now? The system's alarm blared frantically. Host, red alert. There was something in the wine. He Yuding drank it. What the hell? I almost choked on the bone. I knew they were smiling too sinisterly. Turns out they set a trap. At the same time, He Yuding felt a wave of heat explode within her body. She roared wildly in her heart. That bastard He Jingqin definitely knew, and he actually didn't warn me. Just you wait. She knew she had to leave immediately, but her legs went soft, and she couldn't stand up at all. Seeing this, Zhao Qiang immediately leaned in to support her. Yuding, are you feeling unwell? Let me help you go rest. Get lost. Yuding used all her strength to push him away, and stumbled out of the private room. A sinister look of success flashed in Zhao Qiang's eyes, and he immediately chased after her. Lin Shiyu also sensed something was wrong, and quickly got up to follow them. At this moment, relying on her last shred of consciousness, she stumbled toward the gala backstage. She tremblingly pulled out her phone, and instinctively called me. Come to the gala backstage quickly, please. The 5 million will be transferred immediately. 5 million? My voice instantly went up 8 octaves. Hold on, fifth sister. I'll be there in 1 minute. I grabbed the fatty Han Yu, who was still gnawing on a pig trotter. Stop eating. Something huge happened. Fifth sister got drugged by that bastard Zhao Qiang. Han Yu exploded on the spot. That animal dares to touch my goddess. I'll chop him up and feed him to the dogs. He burst forth with unprecedented speed, dragging me along as he sprinted. Just as we rushed out of the restaurant doors, we ran head-on into a frantic Lin Shiyu. Jingchen, have you seen Yu Ting? I know where she is. Follow me. We headed straight for the gala backstage. When we pushed open the half-closed doors, the scene before us left all three of us dumbfounded. Lin Shiyu was the first to snap back to reality. She roared furiously. Stop staring. Lend a hand and get your sister to the hospital. Quick. I bit the bullet, gritted my teeth, and helped to Yuding up. Then I tossed my car keys to Han Yu. Fatty, go drive my Cullinan. Cullinan. Han Yu froze for a second, then immediately reacted. On it. Mission guaranteed. He caught the keys steadily and dashed out. A moment later, I frantically helped He Yuding into the backseat. Fatty, to the nearest hospital. At the hospital, the doctor had just neutralized the drug's effects for fifth sister. Before I could even catch my breath, Lin Shiyu crossed her arms over her chest, staring at me with sharp eyes. You're not thinking of taking advantage of Yuding while she's asleep to try anything funny, are you? I immediately raised 3 fingers. I swear to God, I'm a decent guy, but in my heart, my little abacus was clicking away loudly. Are you kidding me? That massive 5 million is still hanging in the balance. Would I dare offend my sugar mama? Then, I saw the two of them out of the ward. The world was finally quiet, touching the burning bite mark on my face. Hiss. Fifth sister's combat power is seriously on the level of a little tigress, but thinking of that 5 million reward, it was all worth it. Woohoo! Taking off? Not long after, I fell into a deep sleep guarding her bedside. The next morning, He Yuding suddenly opened her eyes. Fragmented memories of last night flooded back like a tidal wave. Boom. She was so embarrassed, she yanked the blanket up to cover her head. Oh heavens, what kind of embarrassing things did I do last night? Just then, a rapid knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. I casually pulled the door open, sleepy-eyed. Outside stood Fatty and Lin Shiyu, carrying breakfast. Lin Shiyu winked and looked toward the hospital bed. Our great beauty is awake. How are you feeling? I'm fine. He Yuding said she was fine, but the crimson blush on her cheeks betrayed her. Han Yu nudged me with his elbow and whispered to me, Look quick. The campus belle's face is as red as a ripe peach. It is a bit red. I also lowered my voice and smirked. In my heart, I was feeling incredibly smug. TSK, she must be remembering how she took advantage of me last night. Hearing this inner voice, He Yuding gripped the blanket tightly, grinding her teeth in anger. This brat actually got the upper hand and is now showing off. Ding! The system prompt suddenly chimed in. Runaway funds have not been received. Host, please collect the debt as soon as possible. I immediately turned into a little money grubber, rubbing my hands together and shamelessly leaning in. Hee hee, fifth sister. about the money we agreed on yesterday. Seeing my greedy look, the shame she had just suppressed instantly turned into raging anger. Don't worry, you won't be short a single cent. That's great. Fifth sister's word is gold, of course I believe you. I completely failed to notice her murderous glare. Lin Shiyu sensed the atmosphere was off. Her intuition told her He Yuding was about to blow her top. She quickly smoothed things over. All right, let's eat breakfast first. Yuding just woke up. She needs to regain her strength. He Yuding snorted coldly, grabbed a steamed bun, and took a vicious bite. After breakfast, the doctor checked her and said she was fine, so we directly processed her discharge. Just then, my phone rang. It was a message from Mom. Today is Yuding's birthday. Everyone must be home on time tonight. No one is allowed to be absent. Fifth sister's birthday. I was petrified on the spot. The system immediately popped up to remind me. Please prepare a birthday gift for fifth sister. But I muttered in my heart, what gift? It's the thought that counts. If I spend money on it, can it still be called a thought? A hint of expectation quietly rose in He Yuding's heart. What kind of surprise will this brat prepare for me? But the very next second, that stingy inner thought reached her ears. All her expectations instantly shattered. A nameless fire shot straight to the top of her head. She expressionlessly dropped a let's go. What's wrong now? Why is she walking so fast? I scratched my head, my face full of question marks. Then I had Fatty drive them back to school, while I plopped down on the edge of the flower bed outside the hospital. System, come save me. What exactly does fifth sister like? It needs to be cheap but still look impressive. The system responded unhurriedly. He Yuding is a racing enthusiast. The speed record on Jiang Yu's Winding Mountain Road was set by her. Given that the host has successfully unlocked and completed the first Goddess Hidden storyline, this system has thoughtfully issued a limited time bonus mission. As long as you complete it, you will obtain the world's only limited edition purple Bugatti Veyron. My heart instantly raced. I felt like I was about to drool. But the next second, the system poured a bucket of cold water on me. This vehicle is already bound to He Yuding and is equipped with a DNA recognition rejection system against the host. I was so mad I almost jumped up on the spot. After all this, I'm working my ass off just to be a free laborer for fifth sister. The system started painting a rosy picture. Host, think about that runaway fund. Think about He Yuding's gratitude. Your status in the He family will also skyrocket. At the thought of that shiny silver money, I forcefully swallowed my anger. You win. What's the mission? The mission is to go to the He group and deliver a handmade loving lunch to eldest sister, who is currently working overtime. Furthermore, while she is eating, you must recite a specific line to her face. I completely froze. System, are you sure you're not sending me to my death? The system promised confidently. Please rest assured. This has a special effect on eldest sister. The mission success rate is as high as 99.999%. I let out a long sigh and stood up with a tragic and heroic expression. For fifth sister's grand birthday gift, I set off with the look of a martyr going all in. Meanwhile, at the university gates, He Yuding and Lin Shiyu had just stepped out of the car when Zhao Qiang stuck to them like a fly. Yuding, are you okay? I was worried to death about you. Lin Shiyu beat her to the punch and retorted, Yuding is perfectly fine. Jing Chen was taking close care of her all night. What did you say? Zhao Qiang's face instantly turned as black as a pot. Yuding, you stayed with him the entire night? He didn't do anything inappropriate to you, did he? Yuding was so disgusted she just asked back, Zhao Qiang, is there something wrong with your brain? That's my own brother. Before her voice even faded, she pulled Lin Shiyu along and walked into the campus without looking back. Zhao Qiang stood frozen in place, his expression shifting unpredictably. Extreme jealousy frantically burned away his reason. As for me, as soon as I got home, I frantically rummaged through the cabinets looking for ingredients: scallion oil, chicken, sweet and sour ribs, and a tomato egg drop soup. I skillfully heated the wok and poured in the oil. The moment the chicken pieces slid into the wok, the overbearing aroma shot straight up to the third floor. Duo and Jia's noses twitched almost simultaneously. Following the scent, they floated right to the kitchen door. The two of them saw me tossing the wok with one hand and stir-frying with the other. The movements were as smooth as flowing water. Hijio was so enticed by the aroma she couldn't take it. She quietly sneaked over. Wow, what is this heavenly smell? It's too fragrant. This sudden voice. It scared me so much, my hand slipped. And I almost threw the pan. Third sister, fourth sister. Are you guys okay? We're fine. We're fine. The two sisters immediately snapped out of it, scrambling over each other to help me carry the plates. I quickly stepped aside to make room and packed the food I prepared for eldest sister into a thermos lunchbox. But the moment I set the plate down, Duo grabbed a piece of chicken and stuffed it into her mouth. The next second, her eyes went wide. Fourth sister, you have to try this. The taste is absolutely out of this world. Hijia couldn't wait and grabbed a piece too, her eyes narrowing into happy little crescents. By the time I finished packing the thermos and sat back at the table, the sight before me left me completely speechless. Those two, who were usually so poised and elegant, were now tearing into the food like starving wolves. Their chopsticks were moving so fast they were just a blur. No way. If I let them keep eating like this, I won't even get a sip of the soup. I made a split-second decision, grabbed my chopsticks, and charged into the fray. A bloodless war over delicious food had officially begun. After eating my fill, I let out a satisfied burp, grabbed the lunchbox made with love, and headed out. Top floor of the He Group, CEO's office. Like a thief, I pressed my eye against the crack in the door and peeked inside. A woman with an intense aura was giving a report. President He, the Jiang group can't hold on much longer. They're begging us for one more chance. Lin Wanru scoffed coldly. Tell them to get lost. My mind instantly exploded with comments. System, quick. Look, who is this boss lady? She's an absolute goddess. The system was speechless. Her name is Ye Yuan. She's your eldest sister's head secretary. A secretary. My eyes instantly lit up. This is like Bulbasaur walking into the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, freaking magical. Who would have thought? My inner thoughts actually drifted right into He Wanqing's ears. She looked up and locked eyes perfectly with me, sticking my butt out outside the door. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. I'm dead. Eldest sister's glare could literally kill. The system frantically blared an alarm. Host, you're here to deliver a loving lunch. Remember your identity. Right. I instantly straightened my back and pushed the door open with total confidence. You can leave first. He Wanqing calmly instructed Ye Yuan. Ye Yuan walked past me in her high heels, and my eyes were practically glued to her. Even after the office door closed, I was still subconsciously chuckling like an idiot. Have you seen enough? A bone-chilling voice yanked me back to reality. I shook my head like a rattle drum. Eldest sister, don't misunderstand. I didn't see anything. A vein popped on He Wanqing's forehead. What are you doing at the company? I immediately put on a flattering smile and respectfully placed the thermos on her desk. Eldest sister, seeing you stress over that scumbag Jiang Xiying, my heart just aches for you. So, I specially made some home-cooked dishes and brought them over. He Wanqing just frowned slightly. Fine. I accept it. You can leave now. Don't be like that, eldest sister. My mission isn't finished yet. I cleared my throat. Eldest sister, that bastard Jiang Xiying has a death wish. If any other blind fools dare to mess with you, just say the word. I might not have many skills, but I guarantee I'll be the first to dial 911 for you. Then I'll quickly find a spot with full cell service, and we can make a run for it together. The moment those words left my mouth, the entire office fell into a dead silence. He Wanqing rubbed her temples. Enough. I appreciate the gesture. Now get out. You got it. I immediately oiled my soles and bolted faster than a rabbit. Mission accomplished. The flawless Bugatti Veyron is mine. Meanwhile, in the office, He Wanqing stared at the thermos, her gaze turning unusually complex. How long had it been since she felt this kind of warmth? The moment she twisted the lid open, a rich, mouth-watering aroma exploded into the air. Her stomach actually let out an untimely rumble. Half doubting, He Wanqing picked up her chopsticks and picked up a piece of scallion oil chicken. The moment it entered her mouth, her pupils suddenly shrank. Filled with absolute amazement, did that little brat really make this himself? 10 minutes later, He Wanqing had drank every last drop of the soup. Staring at the completely empty thermos, she thought to herself, my sixth brother sure hides his talents well. Looks like there's going to be a good show at fifth sister's birthday banquet tonight. At that moment, my front foot had just stepped out of the company doors when the system's cold alarm suddenly blared in my mind. Warning. Detected 7 high-threat targets, currently approaching from the dark alley to your back left. Which punks dare to come looking for trouble with your grandpa He? I pretended not to care at all and turned into a secluded alleyway. Those 7 immediately sped up and followed me, trapping me dead in the depths of the alley. My gaze swept over the group, and when I saw the 2 guys in the back wearing cheap masks, I almost burst out laughing. President Zhao, little brother Xiaofeng, aren't you guys sweltering wearing masks on such a hot day? He Xiaofeng trembled in fear. President, we've been spotted. What do we do? Zhao Qiang, humiliated and furious, ripped off his mask. So what if we're exposed? He Jingchen, what did you do to Yuding last night? Last night? I picked my ear with an incredibly punchable expression. I was indeed with fifth sister last night. What do you think we could have done? You're asking for death. Zhao Qiang's veins popped in anger. Get him. Teach him a brutal lesson. He Xiaofeng also shrieked, riding on his coattails. That's right. Break his legs. The 5 thugs sneered, brandishing their clubs as they closed in. Kid, blame yourself for messing with a big shot you shouldn't have provoked. I locked onto the first thug rushing at me, sidestepped to dodge his steel pipe, and immediately after, delivered a flawlessly precise kick right to his lower half. In an instant, a blood-curdling howl echoed through the entire alley. The thug curled up in agonizing pain on the spot, collapsing to the ground and twitching nonstop like a cooked shrimp. Zhao Qiang's eyes twitched wildly at the sight. He Jingchen, you actually played dirty. You're despicable. The remaining thugs were also stunned by my ultimate lineage-ending kick, but they still mustered their courage and charged at me. But right at this critical, hair-raising moment, a clear female voice suddenly boomed from the alley entrance. Stop. Before I could even see who it was, my vision blurred, and my back slammed heavily against the ground. Something cold and hard was pressed firmly against the back of my head. Police! Everyone, hands on your heads and squat down. Police! Zhao Qiang and his gang were instantly scared out of their wits, obediently putting their hands on their heads and squatting down. I fought through the intense pain and squeezed out a smile uglier than crying. Officer Miss, this is a massive misunderstanding. I was purely acting in self-defense. Cut the crap. The muzzle of Xia Bing's gun was terrifyingly steady. Yes, yes, yes. I promise I won't move. While she was calling for backup, I secretly sized her up. A pretty face, a smoking hot body, and such slick combat skills. This lady is absolutely top tier. As if sensing my gaze, Xiaobing suddenly turned her head, her sharp eyes locking dead onto me. My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly forced a cowardly, innocent smile. But Xiaobing's brows furrowed tightly. His mouth clearly didn't move, so where did that voice just come from? She forcefully suppressed her shock and barked, "Behave yourself. If you dare look around again, I'll gouge your eyes out." I wouldn't dare, I wouldn't dare. I surrendered at the speed of light, but in my mind I was frantically calling out, "System, what's the background on this beautiful cop?" That crystal-clear dialogue once again drilled precisely into Xiaobing's mind. Her pupils suddenly shrank. System, unlocking information. Who the hell is this guy? Why can I hear his inner thoughts? The system's prompt rang out immediately. Search complete. Host, target name, Xiaobing, Lu Cheng, Criminal Investigation Detachment Officer. I was instantly a bit disappointed. That's it. Isn't there any juicier info, like some hidden identity? The system fell silent for a moment. Hidden identity loading. Xiaobai, direct descendant and eldest daughter of the Xia family in the capital. To realize her personal ideals, she hid her identity to become a police officer. She is also He Wanqing's best friend. She even has plans with your eldest sister today. Eldest sister's best friend? I was completely stunned. Did eldest sister commit some crime and is about to get hauled in for questioning? Meanwhile, Xiaobing's heart was already churning with stormy waves. Her true identity, her purpose for being here, even her private plans had been completely exposed, but years of detective training allowed her to force a calm facade, though her expression grew increasingly icy. Just then, police sirens wailed, drawing closer from a distance. We were all shoved into police cars. Inside the interrogation room, Xiaobing stared at me, her face as cold as frost. Name: Officer Miss. My name is He Jingshan. I subconsciously flashed a grin. Wipe that smirk off your face. Xiaobing slammed her hand on the table. Take a good look at where you are. I instantly shuddered in fear, the smile freezing on my face. Xiaobing narrowed her eyes slightly. He Jingshan, tell me exactly what happened, from start to finish. I immediately sat up perfectly straight and recounted everything in full detail. It was those bastards who attacked first. I was purely forced to fight back. Xiaobing rapidly took notes. All right, your statement is recorded. We will verify it. If it checks out, you can call a family member to come pick you up. What the hell? I have to call a family member? I felt absolute despair in my heart. It'd be a miracle if the He family didn't kick me while I was down. Oh right, there's eldest sister. I just brought her a loving lunch this noon. For the sake of that meal, she has to come bail out her cheap little brother, right? Who knew? The system's electronic voice dumped a bucket of cold water on my head. Host, based on personality model analysis, the probability of her coming to bail you out is less than 5%. I suggest you prepare to spend the night in the detention center. You trash system. I gritted my teeth in anger inwardly. Xiaobing kept her head down, seemingly organizing files on the surface, but those inner thoughts flowed into her ears without missing a single word. Her fingers gripping the pen paused imperceptibly, and the corners of her icy mouth finally curled into a tiny smirk. After standing up and leaving the interrogation room, she took out her phone and dialed He Wanqing's number. Hey, Wanqing, there's been a little accident. I ran into a brawl on my way, and your brother He Jingshan happened to be involved. He Jingshan? He Wanqing's voice instantly dropped 8 degrees. What kind of trouble did he cause this time? Your other brother, He Xiaofeng, was there too, Xiaobing added. Some thugs started a fight, and they both got dragged into it. He Jingshan isn't in big trouble. You just need to come sign some papers and you can take him home. All right, I'll be right there. He Wanqing replied with absolute decisiveness. Oh right, Xiaobing struck while the iron was hot. You promised to go shopping with me. No backing out now. He Wanqing happened to need to pick out a birthday gift anyway, so she readily agreed. See you in a bit. 10 minutes later, in the police station lobby, He Wanqing, in her high heels, walked in with a face as cold as ice. I was sprawling carelessly on a chair, completely engrossed in tapping on my phone, oblivious to everything around me. He Wanqing withdrew her gaze. Xiaobing, where is He Xiaofeng? He and that Zhao Qian guy were bailed out before you got here. Xiaobing curled her lip, her tone full of disdain. The Zhao family, plus He Xiaofeng. He Wanqing's eyes instantly grew even colder. She nodded expressionlessly and strode toward me with her long legs. I was having a blast playing my game when I suddenly caught a whiff of a familiar scent. I subconsciously sniffed the air. Why is this smell so familiar? The next second, a slender hand grabbed my ear with pinpoint accuracy. I instantly shot up from the chair, wincing in pain. Eldest sister, gentle. My ear is gonna fall off. He Wanqing let go, her face betraying no emotion. Having fun are we? Let's go. I rubbed my burning ear, glaring at her with a face full of grievance. This female demon, she just finished the food I brought her and now she turns on me. If it weren't for the fact that you're a woman. The system hurriedly tried to mediate. Host, calm down. Think about your mission. Think about the Bugatti. Think about the 10 million. Calm down, my ass. It's all because of your trash mission. From today on, He Wanqing and I are irreconcilable. We're done. I angrily turned my head away, using my actions to show my resolve. Standing to the side, Xiaobing watched my puffed up, angry look, and almost couldn't hold back her laughter. This guy is too funny. And He Wanqing, instead of being angry, actually felt inexplicably satisfied. So teasing a little brother is this much fun. Let's go. With that, she turned and led the way out. Xia Bing stifled her laughter and quickly followed He Wanqing's footsteps. I struggled internally for 3 seconds and finally hung my head and followed them. 10 minutes later, I was slumped in the back seat, devoid of the will to live. What was even worse, that Officer Xia had actually gotten into the car too. In the front, He Wanqing and Xia Bing were chatting passionately, the atmosphere light and cheerful. Only I was like a forgotten, invisible man, huddled in the corner, radiating intense resentment. It took a long time before I realized this wasn't the way home. I finally couldn't help but muster my courage, force a smile, and ask, "Eldest sister, Officer Xia, where exactly are we going?" He Wanqing glanced at me through the rearview mirror, her tone carrying a hint of amusement. "Weren't you planning on ignoring us, eldest sister? You're wronging me to death." I immediately cried out dramatically. "You are my most beloved eldest sister. An eldest sister is like a mother." Xia Bing turned around, looking at me with a beaming smile. "We're going shopping at Huanyu Plaza. As for you, you're coming with us, of course. Also, stop calling me Officer Xia. Just call me Sister Bing Bing." My face instantly fell. Can I not go? I promise I'll just wait for you in the car." "No." Xia Bing and He Wanqing rejected me in unison, then looked at each other and smiled. "As the designated pack mule, you need to have some self-awareness. I'm doomed. These evil capitalists." I slumped back into my seat in despair, looking exactly like a salted fish that had lost all its dreams. At Huanyu Plaza, the moment we got out of the car, these two women made a beeline for the jewelry store. As for me, I couldn't muster a single ounce of interest in these shiny little trinkets. I had no choice but to lean boredly against a pillar, complaining wildly in my head. What's the point of these stupid rocks besides being expensive? Can you eat them? Can you drink them? Xia Bing's mouth twitched, and she quickly pretended to look at a necklace to hide her awkwardness. Meanwhile, He Wanqing pointed at a ring and commented, "The cut and clarity of this blue diamond are decent. Miss, you have excellent taste. This is our store's treasure. A top-tier cornflower blue diamond." I secretly peeked at the price tag. Over 50 million for a stupid rock? Eldest sister, are you crazy? It'd be so much better if you just gave that money to me. It'd be enough for me to travel around the world 800 times. Hearing my complaints, He Wanqing turned around and shot me a chilling glare. I immediately squeezed out a flattering, fake smile. Just then, Xia Bing held a necklace up to her neck to see how it looked. "Jing Chen, how does this one look?" I gave it a casual glance and immediately started praising it. Looks great. Sister Bing Bing, you look beautiful in anything." But in my heart, I was still muttering, "Isn't it just a piece of glass on a chain? What's the big difference?" Xia Bing was so infuriated by my inner thoughts that she silently put the necklace back. Before we knew it, over an hour had just slipped by. He Wanqing raised her wrist to check her watch. "Xia Bing, it's getting late. We should head back." Xia Bing nodded. "I need to report back to the station too. Was shooting a happy birthday for me." On the way home, looking at the street view rapidly retreating outside the window, I felt incredibly relieved. Finally, freedom. But I didn't notice that He Wanqing was secretly watching me through the rearview mirror, a meaningful smile actually curling on her lips. The moment we stepped into the house, He Wanqing locked onto a figure in the living room, her voice full of pleasant surprise. "You see, you're back." I saw a woman leaning lazily on the sofa. It looked like she had just rushed back from an event, not even having the time to change out of her evening gown. "Yeah, eldest sister, I just got off the plane." Hiyushi stood up, and her gaze immediately fell upon me, the human coat rack covered in shopping bags. The moment our eyes met, I froze in place. My mind screamed in shock. "Holy crap, system! Quick, slap me. I'm not dreaming, am I?" The system's voice was laced with exasperation. "Host, calm down. Hiyushi is your second sister. Her profession is an actress and singer. A top-tier celebrity, and although Hiyushi had been given a heads-up beforehand, hearing these bizarre inner thoughts with her own ears still made a flash of astonishment and amusement cross her face. "Oh my god, this is a living, breathing celebrity. This is a rare opportunity. I have to shake her hand. I could brag about this for the rest of my life." I steeled my resolve, rushed up to her in 3 quick strides, and suddenly dropped to one knee. "Second sister, your great name echoes like thunder in my ears. I wonder if I might have the honor of shaking your hand." In an instant, the entire living room was dead silent. The sisters couldn't help but twitch their mouths, and Hiyushi was completely dumbfounded by my grand gesture. The silent He Jingchen in her memory, and this absolute clown in front of her. Were they really the same person? Driven by some inexplicable force, she actually reached out her hand. I immediately grabbed it with both hands, and shook it carefully. I shook it. I shook the hand of a top-tier star. "It's worth it. My whole life is worth it now," the system said disdainfully. "Host, please cease your creepy fanboy behavior immediately." Hiyushi couldn't keep a straight face anymore. This little brother was truly an eye-opener for her. It took quite a while before I reluctantly let go of her hand, and stood up, completely satisfied. However, as my gaze swept the room, I suddenly caught sight of Zhao Chang in the corner. The smile on my face instantly vanished. I tilted my chin at him. "Well, if it isn't the esteemed President Zhao. Tonight is our He family's private dinner. Isn't it a bit shameless of you to show up uninvited?" The fake smile on Zhao Chang's face instantly froze. Just as he opened his mouth to explain, He Xiaofeng immediately jumped out from the side. "Brother, President Zhao came specifically to apologize to fifth sister. Mom and Dad both agreed to let him stay." "Brother, I felt like I had just swallowed a fly alive. Absolutely disgusting. Is that so? Well, the apology has been delivered. Shouldn't President Zhao have the self-awareness to leave now? Zhao Chang's face instantly flushed the color of pig liver, his fists clenching until his knuckles popped. Just then, a gentle voice rang out. All right, sixth brother. Hiyushi gently patted my shoulder. Whatever grudges there are, today is fifth sister's birthday. Even the biggest issues can wait until after dinner. Hearing this, the anger in my heart instantly dissipated by half. Zhao Qiang secretly breathed a sigh of relief, squeezing out a stiff, fake smile once again. Right after, Sun Guiji's voice broke the tension. Dinner is ready. Hiyushi smiled brightly, linking arms with He Wanqing, and led the way to the dining room. At the dinner table, He Guochang suddenly put down his soup spoon. You see, it's rare for you to come back. Chat more with Xiaofeng, your biological siblings after all. Got it? Hiyushi gracefully wiped the corners of her mouth, wearing a flawless smile. But I suddenly had a stroke of genius. I muttered inwardly, Xiaotong, quick, check if there's any earth-shattering gossip about my second sister, the kind that's incredibly juicy. Xiaotong sounded thrilled. You got it, host. Activating the deep gossip radar now. At the dinner table, the family almost simultaneously stopped their chopsticks. Everyone held their breath in rapt attention. A moment later, Xiaotong's voice suddenly turned grave. Host, I found it. It's absolutely explosive gossip. Tomorrow night, after your second sister Hiyuxi attends her college reunion, on her way back to the hotel, she will be targeted by an extreme Sasang fan. According to my deductions, there is a very high probability that your second sister's face will be severely disfigured. In that instant, the silver chopsticks in Sun Guiji's hand clattered onto her plate. The rest of them collectively gasped in horror. Their eyes were filled with lingering dread. Even Hiyushi herself had an imperceptible tremble in her hands. Disfigurement. That was far too terrifying for a top-tier female celebrity. He Xiaofeng feigned concern. What's wrong? Why did everyone stop eating? Sun Guiji was the first to react, forcing a stiff smile. It's nothing. Let's eat. This soup is just a bit hot. Everyone then snapped out of their daze, but their movements were noticeably stiffer. I was also stunned by the sheer weight of this gossip. Second, sister's career is right at its peak. If she gets disfigured, it's completely over for her. Xiaotong, lock onto all the information about that crazy fan immediately. I have to step in and turn the tide. I'll show second sister who the most reliable one really is. These bold, heroic thoughts made a flash of approval cross my sister's eyes. But before this warmth could linger in their hearts for even a second, it was interrupted by a sudden, chilling sensation. Hiyuting was gripping her knife and fork, scraping them against her plate with a piercing screech. Her eyes were full of accusation and jealousy. He's so proactive about helping second sister, but when it comes to me, he demands 10 million. He Jinshin, you double-standard dog. Just as I was fantasizing about my heroic rescue of second sister, I suddenly shivered out of nowhere. Why does my back feel so cold? Is the AC on too high? After dinner, the gift-giving segment began. Zhao Qiang couldn't wait to stand up, holding up an exquisite gift box. Yuting, happy birthday. It's just a small token of my appreciation. Open it and take a look. I remained expressionless on the outside, but inside I was screaming. System, what did this bastard give her? It's all shiny and gold, definitely not cheap. The system replied instantly. A Cartier diamond necklace. It symbolizes eternal love. Host, he really went all out. Eternal love? I sneered inwardly. A toad lusting after swan meat. Fifth sister is my sugar mommy. How could I let her get stuck with a leech like him? So, before fifth sister could react, I reached out and snatched the gift box, eagerly tearing open the packaging. Oh my, Chairman Zhao, you're too polite. How could I let my sister trouble herself with such a precious gift? He Xiaofeng couldn't stand it anymore. Brother, how can you be so rude? He looked anxiously at He Guochang and Sun Guiji, expecting them to uphold justice. But He Guochang just calmly sipped his tea, as if he were more interested in studying the tea leaves. And Sun Guizi, along with my sisters, maintained a tacit silence. Their eyes were full of excitement, ready for a good show. The gentle, elegant smile on Zhao Qiang's face completely vanished, and a flash of fury quickly darted through his eyes. I couldn't be bothered to pay him any mind. Wow, fifth sister. Look, the legendary Heart of Eternity. This must be worth a small fortune, right? Hearing this praise, Zhao Qiang instantly straightened his back, hope reigniting in his eyes. The moment He Yuting thought of Zhao Qiang's ulterior motives, she instinctively wanted to open her mouth and refuse. The words of refusal were still stuck in her throat when I directly draped the necklace around her neck. Oh my, fifth sister. Why are you blushing? Your little brother will put it on for you. He Yuting looked stunning with a hint of anger. This guy, he's always like this. He never gives me a chance to say no. Hey, done. I whistled smugly in my heart. This necklace really is dazzling. He Yuting unconsciously lowered her eyes, thinking about how I had personally put it on her. The bit of anger in her heart miraculously dissipated. However, the next second, when she heard my inner thoughts, the trace of warmth that had just risen was instantly extinguished. She only heard me chuckle inwardly. Later, I'll have her hand it over to me. I'll resell it and make a killing. Hearing this, He Yuting's cheeks instantly flushed bright red. She looked like she wanted to burn 2 holes through me with her glare. Poof, ha ha ha. Hiyushi suddenly burst out laughing. My parents also let out stifled coughs. I was completely bewildered. Has second sister gone mad? Her sense of humor is that low? Whatever, a good laugh keeps you young, right? Who knows? Maybe one day she won't even have the chance to laugh. As soon as this thought came out, the smiles of the entire family instantly froze. The atmosphere in the room plummeted to the freezing point. A hint of disdain flashed in He Xiaofeng's eyes. He immediately took out his own shabbily wrapped gift. Fifth sister, this is a ceramic vase I made with my own hands. I hope you like it. But He Yuding just took the box expressionlessly and casually tossed it into the pile of gifts nearby. Ha ha ha. My heart was practically blooming with joy. He Xiaofeng's crappy vase got sent straight to the cold palace by fifth sister. But just as I was secretly gloating, He Xiaofeng suddenly turned his head and glared at me. Brother, fifth sister dotes on you the most. Your gift must be incredibly precious, right? I immediately flashed a highly punchable smile. Of course. The gift I'm giving has to be an ultimate surprise that will make her scream. This exaggerated declaration immediately drew the attention of everyone at the table. Only He Yuding felt her heart tighten, a sense of foreboding rising within her. What kind of stunt is this guy trying to pull now? I took a deep breath and announced loudly, Fifth sister, my gift is that Bugatti Veyron, the global limited edition. It's sitting in the garage right now. He Yuding's mind went completely blank. Could it be that one of a kind in the world, the purple divine car, that a mysterious billionaire won at auction for nearly 100 million euros? I tilted my chin up. That's right, from today on, it's fifth sister's exclusive ride. But right at that moment, Iyuxi suddenly voiced the doubt on everyone's mind. Sixth brother. Wait, wasn't that car bought by some mysterious big shot? Where did you manage to get it from? The smugness on my face instantly froze. I'm screwed. I frantically cried out for help in my mind. System, how am I supposed to spin this? I can't exactly say I cooked a meal for eldest sister, and a Bugatti just fell from the sky. Right? These few keywords made everyone's gaze snap uniformly toward He Wanqing. She instantly lowered her head, but her bright red ears completely betrayed her. The corners of the other sisters' mouths curled up into identical, amused smirks. Oh, so that's how it is. He Xiaofeng sharply caught my embarrassment. Brother, why aren't you saying anything? Are you feeling guilty? Or could it be you got this car through some shady means? Zhao Qiang immediately chimed in. Exactly. Taking such a huge risk just to please Yuding. That's far too foolish. These two guys were singing the same tune, trying to pin the blame on me. Thinking of this, I immediately put on an innocent and aggrieved expression. Little brother Xiaofeng, your words are too hurtful. How can you ruin someone's reputation for no reason? You say I got it through shady means. Do you have proof? If I really did it, and you saw it but didn't stop me, then you're guilty of harboring a criminal. That charge is way more serious than stealing a car. He Xiaofeng was instantly dumbfounded by this counterattack. You're talking nonsense. I was just making a reasonable guess. Oh. So it was just a guess. I deliberately dragged out my words. You scared me to death. I thought you two had teamed up to frame me for some earth-shattering crime. Seeing them look like they had just swallowed a fly, I felt absolutely fantastic. I pulled out the keys directly. Don't worry, fifth sister. All the paperwork is in order. Come with me and take a look. Although He Yuding found it absurd, she still chose to trust me unconditionally. Then let's go right now. Just like that, the group marched grandly toward the parking lot. He Xiaofeng and Zhao Chang's faces were as black as the bottom of a pot, and they could only grit their teeth and follow behind. Arriving at the parking spot, I tossed the keys to her. He Yuding gripped the keys tightly and couldn't wait to sit inside the car. The moment the engine started, its roar instantly ignited the entire scene. My other sisters couldn't hold back anymore, scrambling to get in and experience it. For a moment, the massive garage was filled with laughter and joy. Only He Xiaofeng and Zhao Chang's faces were so gloomy, they looked like they could drip water. Meanwhile, I stood to the side, my heart bleeding. My ultimate babe magnet is just gone like that. System, you biased jerk. The gift-giving segment concluded perfectly amidst the roar of the engine. I hummed a little tune as I went back to my room, ready for a hot bath, while figuring out how to swindle that necklace from fifth sister. But just as I stepped out of the bathroom, I heard voices in the hallway. My ears perked up, and I immediately pressed against the door to eavesdrop. He Xiaofeng was flattering eldest sister. Tomorrow's bidding conference for the East City project. Could I tag along to broaden my horizons? I want to stay by your side and learn a thing or two. To his surprise, He Wanqing's voice was as cold as ice. The bidding conference involves commercial secrets. It's not convenient to bring a newcomer. A wicked smirk curled on my lips. A sudden thought flashed through my mind. Eldest sister doesn't want to bring him. That I'm going to give him a hand and cause some trouble for eldest sister while I'm at it. Making up my mind, I yanked the door open. The two of them, caught completely off guard, jumped in shock. As her gaze swept over my muscle lines, a flush of red quickly crept up He Wanqing's ears. How can you just come out looking like that? I didn't even notice. Casually throwing an arm around He Xiaofeng's shoulder. Oh, come on, eldest sister. Just let him go. Isn't it a great opportunity for him to gain some experience? He Xiaofeng immediately squeezed out a grateful smile. Eldest sister, sixth brother is right. I promise I won't cause any trouble. Looking at my cheeky smile, He Wanqing's temple twitched slightly. After a moment of silence, she spoke coldly. Fine, he can go. But sixth brother, you have to come along too. As soon as she said that, the smile on my face instantly froze. This isn't how the script is supposed to go. You should go broaden your horizons too. He Wanqing cast a meaningful glance at me, then turned and walked away. I immediately put on a flattering smile and watched her leave. You got it? I promise I won't embarrass you, eldest sister. But the moment I turned around, He Xiaofeng violently shoved my hand away, his voice full of resentment. He Jinshin, if you know what's good for you, get the hell out of the He family. You still want to compete with me? The smile on my face instantly vanished. I'm staying right here. What are you going to do about it? Die mad about it? He Xiaofeng was so furious, his face turned livid. He shot me a venomous glare, turned around and slammed his door shut with a bang. But right at that moment, second sister's door diagonally across the hall quietly opened. Hiyushi walked up to me and poked her finger directly onto my abs. I shuddered violently. Second sister, what are you doing? Why are you hiding? Hiyushi crossed her arms. I didn't expect this. Little brother, you've developed quite nicely, haven't you? Help! Second sister is like a starving tiger pouncing on its prey. I screamed frantically in my mind. Hiyushi was amused and rolled her eyes in exasperation. Do you think your second sister is that desperate? Besides, even if I did make a move on you, you'd be the one hitting the jackpot. I blinked, thought about it, and realized she had a point. The panic on my face instantly turned into a grin. Hee, second sister is right. Please, continue. Continue my foot. Hiyushi laughed in exasperation. Let's talk business. Tomorrow night, I have a college reunion. You're coming with me. A college reunion? I was stunned. What kind of crappy luck is this today? I haven't even sorted things out with eldest sister, and now second sister is drafting me too? It's settled. Dress handsomely for me. Don't embarrass me. With that, she didn't even give me a chance to refuse, turning around stylishly and heading back to her room, leaving me standing there dumbfounded for a moment. Whatever, who cares? It's a good chance to protect second sister up close and take care of that crazy fan while I'm at it. No longer stressing over it, I hummed a tune and went back to my room. As soon as the door closed, I frantically yelled in my mind. Xiao Tong, what the hell was that hidden mission just now? The system immediately reported. At tomorrow night's reunion, Hiyuxi will be publicly humiliated by her former suitor, Zhang Wenji. Host must pretend to be her boyfriend and make a badass rescue. Mission reward, basic combat skills. Hearing this, I almost jumped out of bed. This Zhang Wenji, could he be someone He Xiaofeng found to discuss second sister? The system cheerfully confirmed. Spot on. It's exactly Zhao Qiang and He Xiaofeng who teamed up to pull this stunt. Alright then. These two bastards just can't go a day without asking for a beating. Huh? My eyes blazed with fury. I accept this mission. At the bidding conference, just as we sat down in the He family's exclusive section, I locked onto the Zhao family not far away. I immediately asked the system, Xiaotong, who's that guy standing next to the balding old man? The system replied instantly. The one leading is the Zhao family head, Zhao Nan. Next to him is Zhao Qiang's older brother, Zhao Si. I instantly perked up. He looks a bit better than his brother. Wait a minute. Was that guy just making eyes at eldest sister? The system immediately reassured me. Rest assured, host. Zhao Si has ulterior motives toward Miss He Wanqing, but it's a terminal case of unrequited love. Oh man, another one? Eldest sister's damn charm. Right at that moment, He Wanqing shot an icy glare. Over at Zhao Si, her gaze was as sharp as a knife, scaring him so much he shuddered inwardly, and hurriedly looked away. 10 minutes later, the host shouted with a booming voice. Distinguished guests, next up is the main event of this auction. The plot of land on the east side of Haiyu Tiandi, number 20007. Starting bid is 1 million. He Wanqing slowly opened her eyes, a cold glint flashing in her deep pupils. She exuded an aura of absolute determination. She tapped her fingertip lightly on the armrest. 1 million. The assistant steadily raised the paddle. His voice wasn't loud, but it echoed clearly throughout the hall. As soon as he spoke, several developers immediately followed suit. 2 million, 3 million, 4 million. The price climbed steadily, yet He Wanqing remained perfectly composed, always waiting until the very last second before the gavel fell, to signal her assistant to add another million. Eldest sister's aura is just overflowing with badassery. I cheered frantically in my mind. Zhao Tong, quick, check if those bastards from the Zhao family have turned green yet. Scan results show that Zhao Nan is still relatively calm on the surface, but Zhao Sai is sneaking peeks at your eldest sister again. His eyes are 3 parts obsessed and 7 parts resentful. I felt nothing but utter contempt. Pa! He should take a good look in the mirror and see what kind of trash he is. How dare he have designs on my eldest sister? Right then, Zhao Si suddenly stood up and raised his bidding paddle high, his voice deliberately impassioned. 8 million. Inside the venue, a collective gasp instantly echoed through the crowd. He Wanqing furrowed her brows slightly, clearly a bit surprised by this disruption. But Zhao Si met her gaze without flinching, and instead squeezed out a self-righteous, affectionate smile. Oh hell no, this bastard still dares to make eyes at her. I instantly lost it. Eldest sister, crush him. Show him why the flowers are so red, Xiaotong hurriedly advised. Host, calm down. Impulse is the devil. Your eldest sister knows what she's doing. He Wanqing completely ignored him, and gave her assistant an even more decisive hand signal. 10 million. The assistant's voice remained steady and powerful. 12 million. Zhao Sai practically roared it out, his eyes locked dead onto eldest sister, filled with a sickly paranoia and provocation. Everyone's gaze instantly focused on eldest sister. She simply set down her water glass, parted her red lips, and said just 2 words to her assistant. The assistant immediately raised the paddle. 20 million. As soon as the words fell, the entire venue instantly erupted, raising the bid by 8 million in one breath. This wasn't just a crushing display of wealth, it was a naked humiliation of the competitor. Zhao Ci's face instantly turned as white as a sheet. He slumped back into his chair, utterly devastated, the paddle in his hand dropping to the floor. Ha ha ha. Eldest sister is mighty. My heart was blooming with joy. Dumbfounded now, aren't you? You're way too green to mess with my eldest sister. This treasure is mine now. Later, I'll dig it up and make it a family heirloom. Xiaotong threw cold water on me just in time. Host, please mind your facial expression. You're smiling like the village idiot. What do you know? This is the ecstasy of victory. How could a broken system like you understand the joy of getting rich overnight? Beside me, He Wanqing was just about to stand up, but upon hearing the second half of my inner thoughts, her movements paused imperceptibly. She sneered inwardly. This little guy sure dreams big, thinking he can sneak off and dig up treasure behind my back? No way. 20 million going once, 20 million going twice. The host scanned the room. 20 million for the third time. Sold. Congratulations to the He group. Only then did He Wanqing slightly raise her chin, standing up gracefully to go sign the contract. Gloating, I urged Xiaotong in my mind. Scan him for me again. That Zhao Sai kid, does he want to find a hole to crawl into right now? Quick, let me enjoy this. The system immediately reported. Host, Zhao Ci's heart is currently dead as ashes. He has suffered a devastating blow. What a poor little guy. I clicked my tongue with zero sincerity. Serves him right. Just as He Wanqing turned around after signing the contract, her sharp gaze caught me looking around with a gossipy expression. She followed my line of sight, and sure enough, He Xiaofeng was sneaking over toward Zhao Ci. Seeing this, I immediately flashed a wicked grin. Little brother Xiaofeng, what are you dawdling for? Eldest sister is done. Aren't you going to keep up? Xiaofeng's body suddenly stiffened. He squeezed out a smile uglier than crying and took 3 quick steps, practically running back to us. Walking at the front, He Wanqing didn't stop her pace, but her fingers quietly tightened in passing. As I passed by Zhao Ci, I deliberately slowed down and casually dropped a line. Thanks for letting us win, young Master Zhao. My condolences, by the way. Zhao Ci's eyes instantly filled with bloodshot rage as he glared at me venomously. Bastard. Back in the car, He Xiaofeng curled up in the corner, his eyes full of unconcealed resentment. I, on the other hand, leisurely crossed my legs and called out to the system in my mind. Xiaotong, He Xiaofeng. What is that kid plotting? His target is also that treasure land, right? The system immediately answered. The host guessed correctly. He is a reincarnator after all. No one knows the earth-shattering value of that land better than him. Damn, this trick of sneaking around in the dark is too insidious. But on second thought, something's not right. Why does he have to go out of his way to find the Zhao family? The system praised. This is how high-level games are played. He Xiaofeng is dead set on the Zhao family for 3 main reasons. First, he just returned to the He family and hasn't established a firm foothold yet, so he doesn't dare pull any tricks right under your eldest sister's nose. Second, once the treasure falls into the He family's hands, he won't even get a single hair of it. As for the third point, that's the most explosive secret of all. In his memories from before his reincarnation, he has a deep-seated, bone-deep fear of the He family, especially your eldest sister. I froze for a second. Then I burst out laughing, gloating. Eldest sister is too badass. Who knew that upon hearing this inner voice, He Wanqing's mind would explode with a buzz? She slammed her foot on the brakes. The massive inertia sent He Xiaofeng's forehead smashing hard into the front seat. He clutched his forehead, looking at the driver's seat with grievance. Be big sister. Are you okay? Meanwhile, I was roasting them like crazy in my head. What the hell is this woman doing? And why is this coward He Xiaofeng pretending to be an innocent little bunny? He Wanqing narrowed her eyes dangerously. A cold, knife-like glare shot straight at me. I shuddered in fear. System, did my sister just glare at me? Save me, the system replied, gloating. That's right, host. Miss He Wanqing's death stare has been accurately delivered. Surprised? Unexpected. Surprise my ass. I'll curse your 18 generations of code, I roared frantically in my mind. Now I finally get why He Xiaofeng is so scared of my sister. Like a mouse seeing a cat? How is that just a look? That was clearly a mental critical strike with freezing and piercing effects. Who could withstand that? Hearing my internal wailing, the corners of He Wanqing's lips curled up slightly. Am I really that scary? Looking at me in the rearview mirror and comparing it to my previous arrogant and smug look, an inexplicable emotion actually caused a rare ripple in her heart. I stretched lazily, shoved my hands in my pockets, and swaggered into the campus with an arrogant strut. Meanwhile, He Wanqing, still in the car, watched my punchable back. A nameless fire rushed straight to her head. This little bastard used to be such a punching bag. How did he become so cheeky and slippery now? She cursed under her breath, then slammed the gas pedal to the floor. Over on my end, I had just gotten my food and sat down in the cafeteria. Han Yu chuckled and leaned in. Brother He, let me tell you something. You're trending again. I was completely confused. What did I do this time? Han Yu mysteriously flashed his phone screen. Remember our freshman gossip group? Some girl dropped into the chat today, claiming to be He Xiaofeng's girlfriend. I almost spat out my food. The braised pork I just picked up dropped back into my bowl with a plop. A girlfriend. That little bastard actually got one. Han Yue anxiously shoved the phone in my face. Brother I'm not kidding. Look for yourself. I snatched the phone away. My fingers swiped rapidly across the screen. Holy crap. She spammed dozens of voice messages. Han Yu winked and lowered his voice. The main point is, out of those dozens of messages, 9 out of 10 are just flaming you. She's straight up cursing you out with some fierce words. When did I ever provoke someone like this? Han Yu mimicked her perfectly. She even talked tough, saying she's gonna come teach you a lesson herself. Said she'll beat you up every time she sees you. Damn, is this chick crazy? System, look up this crazy woman's background for me. Reporting to host. Target, Zhang Ya, daughter of the Zhang family. Personality tags, arrogant, impulsive, love-brained. Danger level, 3 stars. The eldest miss of the Zhang family. That bastard, he Xiaofeng just got back and already hooked up with a firecracker of this level. Han Yu's big face suddenly leaned in close. Hey, brother you didn't actually get scared silly by that crazy woman, did you? Scared my ass. I snapped back to reality and grumpily shoved a huge mouthful of rice into my mouth. It's a small scene, what's there to panic about? Let's just eat. But right at that moment, a shrill, explosive female voice suddenly pierced through the noisy cafeteria. He Jingchen, you actually dare to show your face at Jiangcheng University? You've got some nerve. I couldn't even be bothered to look up. With the chicken nugget still unswallowed in my mouth, I mumbled indistinctly, where did this idiot come from? These words drilled into Zhang Ya's ears without missing a single syllable. She charged over and grabbed me right out of my seat. He Jingchen, who are you calling an idiot? I instantly shuddered and slapped her hand away with a smack. My face was full of disgust and coldness. Classmate, getting all handsy in broad daylight. Please mind your image. Zhang Ya's face turned beet red with anger. He Jingchen, you're looking down on me, aren't you? But I couldn't be bothered to waste my breath. I just plopped back down and continued eating. He Jingchen. Zhang Ya's scream suddenly pitched higher. In an instant, half the cafeteria's eyes were drawn over. Isn't that the fake young master from the He family? That girl is the eldest miss of the Zhang family. He Xiaofeng's girlfriend? Holy crap. A live broadcast of rich family drama. Hearing the surrounding gossip, Han Yu swallowed nervously. Brother what do we do? I didn't even lift my head. Nothing. Just treat it like a passing fart. Those words completely ignited Zhang Ya. New grudges and old hatreds surged to her mind. She raised her small hand fiercely, and several girls behind her instantly surrounded me. Every single one of them had an unfriendly glare. Although Han Yu was feeling guilty and scared, he still abruptly stood up and shielded me. Pretty sister, calm down. How about you take it out on me instead? I've got thick skin. But Zhang Ya's face was full of disgust. Get lost, you damn fatty. Just looking at you makes me sick. Han Yu's smile instantly froze. His temper flared up too. You think I'm disgusting? Then why don't you get the hell away? Weren't you the ones who crowded around us? Try to start something, huh? With just one sentence. He left Zhang Ya completely speechless. Good bro. You're a real one. I gave Han Yu a mental thumbs up. Then I stood up unhurriedly. All right, fatty. Arguing with this kind of trash lowers our standards. Let's eat somewhere else. However, just as I was about to turn around, a sudden commotion broke out at the edge of the crowd. Zhang Ya acted like she had caught a lifeline and grabbed onto He Xiaofeng's arm. Xiaofeng, you're finally here. I was just helping you teach this ungrateful jerk a lesson. However, when He Xiaofeng's gaze swept over me, his face instantly put on a hypocritical look. Brother, I'm really sorry about Xiaoya. She's young and doesn't know any better. Please don't stoop to her level. I immediately sneered. Is that so? Little brother Xiaofeng, since your person doesn't know any better, then please do a better job of disciplining her in the future. Don't let her out to bite people randomly. Poof! The surrounding crowd instantly erupted into roaring laughter. Zhang Ya stomped her feet in anger. He Jingchen, who are you calling a dog? I immediately threw my hands up, looking completely innocent. Whoever barks is the dog. Fatty, let's go. If we stay any longer, our IQs will drop. You got it. Han Yue immediately puffed out his chest and followed behind me. We walked out of the cafeteria under everyone's watchful eyes. He Xiaofeng's gaze was dead fixed on my back, and his hands clenched into tight fists. But Zhang Ya was still relentlessly shaking his arm. Xiaofeng, you should have beaten him up just now. Make him understand who the real master of the He family is. Surprisingly, He Xiaofeng forcibly suppressed his anger and put on a doting smile again. All right, Xiaoya. Be good. Let's not argue with him. It'll only lower our status. Come on. What do you want to eat? I'll take you. Zhang Ya immediately beamed with joy. You're the best to me, Xiaofeng. Meanwhile, in a corner of the cafeteria, Yuding was eating her meal unhurriedly. Sitting across from her, Lin Xiu had a look that said she loved watching the drama unfold. Ting, which of your two brothers are you siding with? The hand Yuding used to pick up food suddenly paused, her eyes flashing with displeasure. What do you mean siding with? I warned you not to get any ideas about my brother. But Lin Xiu fearlessly continued. Okay. I won't mess with your precious brother. I just think that He Jingchen, that kid is actually pretty interesting. Lin Xiu? He Yuding's grip on her chopsticks suddenly tightened, making a cracking sound. Seeing that the situation was turning sour, Lin Xiu immediately threw her hands up in surrender. All right. I won't tease you anymore. Only then did He Yuding shoot her an annoyed glare and lowered her head, aggressively poking the rice in her bowl with her chopsticks. On the other side, back in the dorm, Han Yu slumped in his chair with a worried look. Brother He, military training starts tomorrow. Have you got all your stuff ready? I was tapping furiously on my phone screen, not even looking up. What stuff? Just bringing myself, right? What else is there to prepare? He patted his own face, looking pained. Sunscreen. If this handsome face of mine gets ruined by the sun, who knows how many girls' hearts will be broken? I was amused. Fatty, listen to your bro's advice. Don't waste your energy. With a face like yours, the only difference is between a sunburned pig head and a non-sunburned pig head. Brother He you. Han Yue angrily turned his head away. Right at that moment, my phone suddenly rang. As soon as I answered, cold female voice came from the other end. School gate, come out. Second sister, I'll be right there. After hanging up, I dashed out of the dorm. At the school gate, Hiyushi was leaning against the rear car door, scanning the entrance through her sunglasses. She exuded a powerful aura. Just as I was about to raise my hand and shout, some blind idiot moved faster than me and darted right in front of Hiyushi. He Xiaofeng's face was full of pleasant surprise. Second sister, did you come specifically to pick me up? Holy crap, this idiot actually dares to steal my thunder. I was cursing up a storm in my head, but my feet moved even faster. Just as I got close, Hiyuxi's cold voice drifted over. No, little brother Xiaofeng. Xiaofeng's smile instantly froze, and the disappointment in his eyes practically overflowed. Ha ha ha, so satisfying. I laughed wildly in my mind. Second sister, I'm here. Not a single second late. The corners of Hiyuxi's mouth curled up slightly, then quickly returned to a neutral expression. She gave a soft hum of acknowledgement. Watching this scene, Xiaofeng realized he had been flattering himself, but as a reincarnator, his skin was incredibly thick. He immediately switched to his obedient mode. Second sister, brother, are you guys going to a party? Take me with you, please. Sure enough, the fox can't hide its tail. System, what kind of dirty trick is this bastard plotting? Reporting to host. He wants to isolate you. Use the opportunity to network, and then throw dirty water on you. Danger level, 4 stars. Trying to play the green tea bitch with me. Watch how I wreck his show tonight. Hearing my inner thoughts, a hint of amusement flashed in Hiyuxi's eyes. Since Xiaofeng wants to go too, then come along. I looked at the empty driver's seat, then at second sister in the passenger seat, and my brain short-circuited for a moment, seeming to notice my confusion. Hiyushi turned her head slightly. You drive. The navigation is set. Hearing this, my heart instantly bloomed with joy. I nimbly slipped into the driver's seat, tapping my fingers rhythmically on the steering wheel. God is really helping me out here. Xiaofeng stared at my excited back, and an ominous premonition rose in his heart. The next second, a wicked smirk curled on my lips. I slammed the gas pedal, the engine let out a low roar, and the car instantly shot forward. Hiyushi merely raised an eyebrow, remaining elegant and calm, but Xiaofeng let out a muffled groan, his face turning pale. He couldn't help but scream in the back seat. I glanced at him through the rearview mirror. Can't handle it already. I haven't even used my ultimate drifting move yet. Just as I was thinking that, a potholed road appeared ahead. My eyes darted around, and instead of slowing down, I stepped on the gas and charged right over it. With a loud times bang, the car jolted violently. Xiaofeng's head slammed hard against the car window with a times thud, and his hair instantly turned into a bird's nest. He looked absolutely pathetic. I was overjoyed inside, but on the outside, I pretended to be incredibly concerned. Oh my, little brother Xiaofeng, this road is pretty rough. Do you need to take a break? Hearing my cheeky inner thoughts, the curve of Hiyuxi's red lips deepened. Her fingertips tapped against the edge of the car window, silently beating out a joyful rhythm. I'm fine. Brother is driving very steadily. Xiaofeng gritted his teeth, forcibly enduring the churning in his stomach and the throbbing pain in his forehead. His voice was so weak he sounded like he was about to pass out. Driving steadily? I sneered inwardly. The real show is yet to come. At that moment, I violently cranked the steering wheel all the way to the left. The tires let out a sharp, ear-piercing screech. The car smoothly cut into the outer lane. The intense centrifugal force threw Xiaofeng hard against the car door. He was plastered flat against it, uncontrollably dry-heaving. Even Hiyushi's body swayed, but a hint of surprise lit up in her eyes behind the sunglasses. I asked with feigned casualness, Second sister, the river view here is pretty wide open, isn't it? The view is indeed very good. Hiyuxi elegantly smoothed her hair, trying hard to suppress the laughter in her throat. Xiaofeng gasped heavily for air, staring daggers at my back. This useless trash is definitely doing this on purpose. The car fell into an eerie silence. He desperately steadied his breathing, trying to salvage the last bit of his dignity in front of Second sister. Second sister, are we going to the Cloud Club? Cloud Club? Alarm bells rang wildly in my head. This kid really is trying to go network. No way in hell. But before I could even speak, Hiyushi was the first to deny it. No, tonight is at the Galaxy Hall in the Hyatt Hotel. These words were like a bolt from the blue. In Xiaofeng's memories, Second Sister's parties were always at the Cloud Club. I was also stunned on the spot. What's going on? Why did Second Sister suddenly change the venue? Warning, historical records show that Second Sister's parties for the past 5 years were all at the Cloud Club. The data doesn't match. Ha ha ha. Who cares? This is a lucky strike. Looking at Xiaofeng's deflated, dumbfounded expression, I feel absolutely fantastic. Right at that moment, Hiyuxi adjusted her sunglasses, tilted her head slightly, and stared at me. He Jingshen, focus on driving. You've had enough fun. If you dare make us late for the party, I'll make you pay. My hands gripping the steering wheel instantly broke out in a thin layer of cold sweat. How did she figure it out? Don't worry, second sister. We'll absolutely be on time. 15 minutes later, as the elevator doors at the Hyatt Hotel opened, I was stunned by the luxury before my eyes. In an instant, the originally noisy venue seemed to be put on mute. Countless gazes shot over in unison. After a brief dead silence, everyone in the hall stood up and walked toward Hiyuki. A smile appeared on Hiyuki's lips. Old classmates, long time no see. Mother of God. Second sister's entrance is way too explosive. Oh right, system. Quickly search where that bastard surname Jang is. Target locked. 3 o'clock direction, wearing a designer suit. Danger level, 5 stars. I followed the prompt and glanced over. A guy dressed flamboyantly was hypocritically swirling his wine glass, his eyes full of sickening greed. Just as I was figuring out how to mess with him, he Xiaofeng beat me to it. Hello seniors, I'm Sister Yuxi's younger brother. He Xiaofeng. A guy with glasses glanced at him. Yuxi's brother? How come we've never seen you before? He Xiaofeng smiled shyly. I'm quite introverted, so I rarely attend parties. It's normal that you guys haven't seen me. Please take care of me from now on. Yuxi completely ignored his little schemes and walked straight to the center of the main table. I was quick on my feet and immediately claimed the VIP seat to second sister's left. Hee. This VIP viewing spot is mine. Second sister's safety and meals tonight are all under my charge. Hiyushi caught my movement from the corner of her eye, and a barely noticeable smile flashed in her eyes. Seeing himself pushed to the edge, Xiaofeng's face instantly stiffened. He could only awkwardly sit on the side. But I brought out my inner foodie king attitude and frantically swept through the top-tier delicacies on the table. The party's atmosphere gradually heated up with joy. Everyone was toasting and chatting, making it incredibly lively. Hiyushi occasionally responded politely with a few words, but never said much. Most of the time, she just sat quietly. Meanwhile, I perfectly displayed my foodie talents. All the delicious dishes on the table were completely wiped out. But right at that moment, a loud, high-pitched voice suddenly boomed. Yuxi. I immediately tossed my crab leg aside and sat up straight in a flash. A man named Zhang Wenji walked over, swirling his wine glass. Yuxi, I canceled a dinner with the mayor just to rush over here. My sincerity is clear for heaven and earth to see. But Yuxi didn't even bat an eyelid. Mr. Zhang, please conduct yourself with dignity. We are not close. This merciless rejection made Zhang Wenji's smile instantly freeze on his face. Not close? Now that you're a big star, you're turning your back on people. Or has your taste changed? You just like this kind of gigolo who only knows how to freeload. As his words fell, the entire hall went dead silent. Everyone's shocked gazes darted back and forth among the three of us. Xiaofeng's mouth, however, curled up wildly, his eyes full of the thrill of watching a good show. He dares to call me a gigolo. I was burning with anger. Just as I was about to slam the table and stand up, suddenly, second sister tapped the back of my hand lightly 3 times. Receiving this mysterious signal, my whole body shuddered violently. A cold smirk curled on my lips. The real show is just beginning. Right in front of everyone, I suddenly grabbed second sister's hand. Yuxi's face instantly flushed red, her eyes looking like she wanted to grind my bones to dust. But I completely ignored it and loudly declared to that greasy guy, look closely. Yuxi is mine, he Jing Chen's official, exclusively certified girlfriend. Got it? In a flash, the entire venue fell into a deathly silence. Beside us, Xiaofeng's eyes nearly popped out of his head. Zhang Wenji trembled with rage, pointing at my nose, ready to explode. But I didn't give him a chance at all. Comparing looks with me? You're 18 galaxies behind. Comparing money? You're not even fit to shine my shoes. I leaned into his ear and sneered. You're just not as handsome as me in every single way. Zhang Wenji was completely dumbfounded by my combo attack. Right at that moment, a female classmate asked tremblingly, Sister Yuxi, is everything he said true? Instantly, countless gazes locked dead onto second sister, but Yuxi's beautiful eyes were fixed unblinkingly on my face. Yet, the hand I was holding didn't struggle in the slightest. My heart instantly settled. Taking arrogant strides, I closed in on the pale-faced Xiaofeng. He was so scared, his hair stood on end. What do you want to do? I revealed a devilish smile and clamped my other hand tightly onto his shoulder. Little brother Xiaofeng, don't be nervous. Just tell them, is Yuxi my girlfriend or not? A piercing pain made huge beads of sweat instantly roll down. Xiaofeng's face puffed. Seeing his miserable state, Yuxi actually couldn't hold back and burst out laughing. And this laugh became the last straw that broke the camel's back. Xiaofeng, with a crying tone, squeezed out 2 words through his gritted teeth. That's right. Nailed it. I pulled Yuxi back into the crowd and raised our clasped hands high. Hear that? Little brother Xiaofeng personally certified it. Yuxi is my Jingchen's girlfriend. Even though she knew it was just an act, Yuxi's body still trembled violently. A strange electric current surged through her entire body, making her ears burn hot. She could only hurriedly turn her face away. I don't believe it. Zhang Wenji's eyes were bloodshot. You think you can fool me by colluding with some random trash? Trash? My eyes turned cold. Zhang Wenji, watch your damn mouth. Xiaofeng, my dear little brother. Everyone heard what was just said loud and clear. Are you questioning her? Or do you think the words of our He family are just a load of crap? Good. Zhang Wenji laughed out of pure rage. Then I'll let the whole city see just what kind of trash our big star is hooked up with. Zhang Wenji viciously smashed a champagne glass onto the floor. With a twisted expression, he whipped out his phone. Click, click. The shutter sound went off like crazy. Hyuxi's heart skipped a beat in shock. She instinctively tried to break free. I caught onto her thoughts as she pulled at my hand. How could I let second sister do this kind of dirty work? I'm the professional here. In that split second, I flashed in front of Zhang Wenji like a phantom and snatched his phone in one smooth motion. What are you doing? Give it back. Zhang Wenji lunged at me, clawing wildly. But I couldn't even be bothered to look at him. I just naturally stuck my right foot out. Thud! Zhang Wenji face planted right into the dirt, eating a mouthful of floor. Hey buddy, I'll hold on to this for you. I casually tossed the phone in my hand and strutted back to second sister, looking smug. I stared at her with sparkling eyes, my face practically screaming, hurry up and praise me. But Hyuxi just stared at me, then glanced at Zhang Wenji on the floor. She suddenly closed her eyes and let out a long, heavy sigh. My heart suddenly skipped a beat. What does second sister's sigh mean? Does she think I didn't teach him enough of a lesson? Was I too merciful? Thinking of this, I immediately shot her a firm leave it to me look. Hyuxi felt her vision go dark. Before she could even open her mouth, she saw me, turn around, full of fighting spirit, and marched toward Zhang Wenji, who had just scrambled up. What do you want now? His face turned green with fear, his voice trembling on the verge of tears. I grinned, flashing my pearly whites. Don't be nervous. As for the damages for this phone, my little brother Xiaofeng will settle the bill for you later. On the sofa, Xiaofeng looked like he'd been struck by lightning. His body stiffened violently. He happened to lock eyes with me. I smiled as brightly as the sun. Xiaofeng, my dear brother. Your brother-in-law left in a hurry and forgot his wallet. Spot me the cash for this, will ya? Hearing that grating brother-in-law, Xiaofeng's face turned purple with rage. Seeing him not moving an inch, I immediately raised my voice. Xiaofeng, did you hear me? You wouldn't refuse to do your brother-in-law such a tiny favor, would you? We're family, after all. Under the gaze of countless eyes, he could only grit his teeth and squeeze out two words. I'll pay. That's more like it. I clapped my hands in satisfaction and quickly walked back to second sister. I grabbed her wrist naturally and led her outside. That warm touch made Hyuxi's breath hitch. For a moment, she actually forgot to pull away, staring at our hand-in-hand retreating figures. Xiaofeng ground his teeth until they audibly cracked. With trembling hands, he pulled out a black card and slammed it on the table. Then, with a dark face, he hurriedly chased after us. Just as we reached the elevator, I caught that scene out of the corner of my eye. My heart gave a violent lurch. Throwing around a black card. Where did he get that kind of money? Host, please be aware. Xiaofeng's current available liquid assets are approximately 20 million. Holy crap. 20 million? My mind instantly exploded. On what grounds? Host, please adjust your attitude. Actively enjoy the drama and you'll marry a rich, beautiful woman and reach the pinnacle of life. Like hell, I believe you. You're a terrible, rotten system. The elevator hadn't arrived yet. I suddenly noticed. Second sister was staring at me unblinkingly. Was she captivated by my heroic bearing just now? Hearing this inner voice, Hyuxi suddenly snapped back to reality. The next second, an icy, murderous aura exploded from her. The surrounding temperature seemed to drop several degrees. Jingjin, haven't you held my hand long enough? I quickly let go, stepping back with an awkward smile. Second sister, I was just acting for the show. Hyuxi's temples throbbed with anger. If you dare touch me again, you're dead. Terrified, I quickly raised my hands in surrender. It's a misunderstanding. Second sister, I was sacrificing myself for the greater good. Just then, Xiaofeng caught up, looking like his wallet was bleeding. Seeing second sister scolding me, his eyes instantly lit up. He put on a deeply worried expression. Brother, you can't be so impulsive next time. But Hyuxi just shot him a cold glance. Too lazy to even say a single word to him. I just let out a cold snort from my nose. Ignored once again. Xiaofeng was so mad he almost coughed up blood. Right at that moment. Ding! The elevator doors opened. The three of us walked in one after another. The silence in the cramped space was hair-raising. Hyuxi had her eyes closed, her brows tightly furrowed. She was regretting everything, not only bringing Xiaofeng, but especially bringing a troublemaker like me. Meanwhile, I was screaming frantically in my head. Little Bucket, when the hell is that bastard going to show up? Little Bucket replied instantly. Rest assured, host. The moment the target appears, I will alert you immediately. I sneered inwardly. You better keep your word. If you miss it, I'll dig you out of my brain and kick you like a soccer ball. Hearing my vulgar, yet deeply concerned inner thoughts, the corners of Hyuxi's lips twitched almost imperceptibly. The elevator reached the first floor. Just as we stepped out, suddenly, Little Bucket's warning siren exploded in my mind. Red alert. Host, look. Target spotted at your 9 o'clock. My heart dropped. I abruptly stopped in my tracks. I saw a figure in a black hoodie, huddled over there. His hood was pulled down tight. The second he looked up, I saw those murky, bloodshot eyes, and a hideous scar on his face, crawling like a centipede from his cheekbone to the corner of his mouth. I gasped. My God, did this guy crawl straight out of a horror movie set? Little Bucket reminded me, exasperated. Host, he has a dangerous weapon in his hand. Even as I complained, my muscles tensed up, ready to bolt at any second. But my sudden halt startled Hyuxi. She twisted her ankle and fell straight toward me. My reflexes were god tier. I caught her steadily in my arms. Seeing this, Xiaofeng burned with jealousy. He rushed over anxiously. "Second sister, are you okay?" Right then, Little Bucket's alarm escalated. "Host, attention. The target is approaching rapidly. He's pulling something from his jacket. Hee, it's finally here. My hero saves the beauty for a fee business is officially open. Don't move," I barked out, stopping Xiaofeng's outstretched hand in its tracks. He flinched violently at my shout, standing frozen in place. I immediately looked down and whispered to Hyuxi in my arms, "Second sister, there's a killer after you. Your ankle is sprained, so you can't run. Quick, tell me, do you need a personal bodyguard?" She stared into my eyes, which were brimming with sincerity, her heartbeat even faster. "What exactly are you trying to say? Spit it out." "Hey, simple," I grinned. "As long as you give me 5 million, I guarantee I'll protect you like an iron fortress." Hyuxi's expression froze on the spot. After all that, I was just asking her for money, though she was cursing me out in her head. She still gritted her teeth and agreed. "Fine, just keep me safe." Just as I was getting carried away with my success, Little Bucket's warning blared again. "Host, the target is within 5 meters. He's holding a container of highly corrosive acid." My heart dropped. "You trash system. Is this how you keep watch?" Little Bucket sounded wronged. "You were so lost in your get-rich-quick dreams. I didn't dare interrupt you. You useless piece of junk." My eyes swept over the charging dark figure. Then I looked at the dumbstruck Xiaofeng. A wicked idea popped into my head. I suddenly pointed at the man in black and yelled at Xiaofeng. "Xiaofeng, look! Isn't that your classmate?" Xiaofeng instinctively looked over. When he clearly saw what was in that bottle, his pupils shrank violently. A thought exploded in his mind. He instantly burst forth with terrifying speed and recklessly slammed hard into the man in black. Crash. The two of them crashed to the ground, rolling into a tangled mess. The bottle flew out of the man's hand. The man in black hadn't expected someone to intercept him halfway. They immediately started brawling. "Hee, thanks for the assist," I grinned, scooped up Hyuxi, and bolted for the nanny van. "Sit tight, second sister. Let's enjoy the show." Then, I whipped out my phone at lightning speed and swiftly dialed 911. "Hello, officer. Someone's committing a violent assault outside the Hyatt Hotel. Hurry, save us." Sitting in the van, Hyuxi slapped the window anxiously. "Number 6, what are you standing there for? Go help him." But I deliberately pretended to be deaf, leisurely enjoying the good show. Hyuxi was completely frantic now. She unleashed her ultimate move. "If you don't go down there and help right now, you can forget about getting a single cent of that 5 million. The moment she said that, I sprang up like a coiled spring. No. I'm going to save my precious money right now." Hearing this, Hyuxi was so angry, smoke practically blew out of her ears. Just wait until this is over. She'd show him. Deduct his pay. She absolutely had to deduct his pay. Deduct all 5 million of it. I rushed over to the two of them and started circling them frantically, looking for an opening. If my handsome face got ruined, how would I make a living off my looks? Little Bucket popped out to cheer me on. "Host, hurry and use your amateur martial arts." I was filled with grief and indignation. "You just want to get me killed, so you can inherit my 5 million. But at the thought of that 5 million, I steeled my resolve, aimed for an opening, and slid in with a flying tackle, locking onto the man in black's thigh in a death grip. Xiaofeng, in his arms. I've got his legs. Hearing this, Xiaofeng immediately used every ounce of strength he had, and put the man in black's arms in a chokehold, with one of us grabbing his legs and the other his arms. We finally managed to pin the guy to the ground. Just then, the man in black suddenly burst with strength. Smack! A crisp, resounding slap landed squarely on Xiaofeng's face. He was slapped so hard he saw stars. Half his face instantly swelled up like a steamed bun. Puffed. I couldn't hold it in and burst out laughing. "Holy crap, Xiaofeng, my boy. Your face is a true paragon of self-sacrifice." That laughter was like pouring oil on a fire. An unprecedented wave of humiliation and fury rushed straight to Xiaofeng's head. "Jingchen, I swear we cannot coexist." He let out a feral howl and lunged at the man in black again like a madman. Just as the situation was about to spiral completely out of control, the blaring sound of police sirens approached from a distance. The police had finally arrived. Xiaobing's gaze was like lightning, a flash of silver. Click! Handcuffs were instantly slapped on the man in black, and he was shoved into the police car. Seeing this scene, Hyuxi's hanging heart finally settled. But I immediately went into full drama queen mode. Wiping away non-existent cold sweat, I sidled up to Xiaobing. "Sister Xiaobing, my savior." A second later, and my life would have been over. Beside me, Xiaofeng was completely dumbfounded. He had never seen such a badass and cool female cop. But seeing how familiar I was with her, the flames of intense jealousy instantly flared up. Xiaobing shot me a sideways glance. The corner of her mouth twitched up. Not bad. Little brother Jingchen was pretty brave tonight. I immediately straightened my back, looking incredibly smug. Of course, a petty thug like that is a piece of cake. Xiaobing cut off my bragging. "All right, enough. Come back to the station with me and give a detailed statement." "Give a statement?" The smile on my face instantly froze. My heart sank. "That's going to take forever." "Second sister's ankle is still swollen." "My 5 million wait? No. I mean, second sister's injury." Right then, The system's voice suddenly rang out, detecting intense anxiety from the host. 90% probability it's due to fear of losing the 5 million. I instantly flared up. Bullshit. Do I look like the kind of guy who only cares about money? I genuinely care about my second sister, and my 5 million. On the side, hearing my inner thoughts, a knowing smile flashed in Xia Bing's eyes, but her face remained completely serious. I had a sudden flash of inspiration, and instantly switched to a pitiful expression. Sister Xia Bing, do I really have to go? My second sister sprained her ankle. I need to get her to the hospital ASAP. Saying that, my eyes shifted, locking straight onto He Xiaofeng. Let my little brother go with you. He witnessed the whole thing, and even helped catch the guy. He Xiaofeng was just about to curse me out, but when he looked up and met Xia Bing's face, he actually felt a little thrill of excitement. Just as Xia Bing looked hesitant, Yuxi in the nanny van decisively delivered an assist. Rolling down the window, she yelled, "Number 6, what are you dawdling for? My foot is killing me." Hearing the shout, Xia Bing finally sighed helplessly. Fine. Special circumstances call for special treatment. Hurry up and get her to the hospital. Hearing this, I felt like I'd been granted amnesty. You got it. Thanks, Sister Xia Bing. You're a living saint. Xia Bing just nodded faintly. Go on. I immediately turned and darted back into the van, plastering on a fawning smile. Sit tight, second sister. We're heading out right now. Meanwhile, on the way to the police station, He Xiaofeng couldn't sit still. Unable to hold back, he tried to strike up a conversation. Hello, officer. My name is He Xiaofeng. Xia Bing looked through the rearview mirror and shot him a glance, giving only a cold, He Xiaofeng didn't give up. He switched to a curious tone to probe her. Officer, what's your relationship with my brother He Jingchen? Unexpectedly, Xia Bing didn't even bother to bat an eye, as if she hadn't heard him at all. Getting the cold shoulder twice in a row, He Xiaofeng's pride took a hit. He forced a smile, ready to speak again. Actually, shut up. Xia Bing's eyes snapped open. Are you here to give a statement or run a background check? Don't think you can act out of line just because you're a young master of the He family. That single sentence scared He Xiaofeng into shrinking his neck, not daring to utter another word. However, just as he was so embarrassed, he wanted the ground to swallow him whole. Xia Bing spoke up again. I'm his girlfriend. He Xiaofeng's body jolted violently. His pupils dilated in shock. How is this possible? In my past life, he was clearly a loser I trampled underfoot. Why has everything changed since I was reborn? Through the rearview mirror, Xia Bing took in his complete mental breakdown. A playful smirk tugged at the corner of her mouth. Jingchen, little brother, I hope you're satisfied with this big gift from your big sister. At the same time, in the nanny van, second sister Hiyuxi's voice was unreadable. Number 6, who was that female cop just now? She seemed pretty close to you. My heart skipped a beat. My grip on the steering wheel tightened. I played dumb, trying to bluff my way through. You mean that officer? Just a dedicated public servant, that's all. I don't know her. However, Hiyushi didn't say anything else, but her gaze was like nails, pinning me down. Her stare made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I groaned inwardly. Crap, what exactly does second sister want? Should I confess? That's eldest sister's best friend? If I tell her, I feel like it'll be even more trouble. Hearing my inner thoughts, her tense, beautiful face finally relaxed. She gave a faint "oh" and looked out the window. Over half an hour later, at the hospital, after the doctor had finished treating her, I immediately rubbed my hands together and leaned in. Hey, second sister. About that 5 million. Seeing my sycophantic behavior, the fire in her heart flared right back up. The system's alarm instantly blared wildly. Beep, beep, rage levels spiking. Host, prioritize your survival. Are you kidding me? I roared internally. If I don't bring it up now, what if she reneges on the deal when she's healed? Unexpectedly, the system gave a cold reminder. Friendly reminder, host. Verbal agreements hold no legal weight. I was instantly so mad I was speechless. Whose side are you even on, you trash system? Listening to this grand drama playing out in my head, Hiyuxi couldn't help but burst out laughing. Her laughter left me completely baffled. Second sister, what are you laughing at? She suppressed her smile and rolled her eyes in exasperation. Relax. You won't be short a single cent. Hearing there was hope, I immediately climbed up the pole. Second sister, look at what you're saying. Am I, He Jingchen, the kind of person who only cares about money? Who knew? Hiyushi would deliberately draw out her words. As long as you're not rushing me, when we'll talk about this later. Wait, no, second sister. I instantly panicked. My wonderful second sister, please have mercy and take pity on me. Seeing me scratching my head and ears in anxiety like a monkey, she finally couldn't hold it in. All right. I've already notified third sister and the others. Hurry up and roll back to school. Hearing this, I felt very uneasy, but I decided to quit while I was ahead. Yes, ma'am. Rest well, second sister. This lowly one takes his leave. Summon me anytime you need me. After saying that, I even gave an exaggerated bow. Then I bolted out of the hospital room like a wisp of smoke, terrified she would change her mind. Hiyushi shook her head with a helpless smile. Go on, you little money grubber. Half an hour later, I pushed open the dorm room door, humming a little tune. Fatty, wake up. Prepare to welcome the presence of a god. My roommate Han Yue, who was playing on his phone, was so startled by my shout, he almost threw his phone. My promotion match. Brother He. Give me back my star. Watch out for the human cannonball. I directly unleashed my ultimate move. Fatty, look what delicious food I brought you. Skewers. Smells so good? Han Yue slammed on the brakes instantly. From this day forth, you are my biological father. 10 minutes later, I walked out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel. Han Yue was already sprawled on his bed, completely satisfied, happily scrolling through his phone. I reminded him while drying my hair, "Fatty, it's midnight. Aren't you going to sleep? Tomorrow's the first day of military training." Hey, I'm too full. Gotta digest a bit. He let out a satisfied burp, as if remembering something. He put down his phone and lowered his voice mysteriously. "Oh, right. I just saw some news on the forum. They say our school reformed the military training this year. The instructors aren't from the military. They're outstanding upperclassmen from previous years." Upperclassmen? My hand drying my hair abruptly stopped. I'm dead. I'm so dead. If fifth sister is an instructor, I'm completely screwed. I just scammed her out of 10 million last time. She'll skin me alive this time. Little bucket. Quick. Analyze the probability of fifth sister being an instructor. According to data analysis, the probability of He Yuding being selected as an instructor is as high as 89.7%. Host, my condolences. Condolences, my ass. I roared frantically in my mind. You dog system, you dare laugh? When I scammed her out of that money, didn't you congratulate me too? The system replied coldly. Fairness and justice are the core principles of this system. You're something else. I gritted my teeth. Hurry up and give me the reward for last night's escort mission. I need power. Understood, host. Master-level basic combat skills have been issued. Buzz. A warm current surged through my limbs and bones. Awesome. I feel like I could take on 10 fatties. With these skills, even if fifth sister wants to kill me, at least I'll be left with half a life. The next morning at 7 a.m. On the sports field, the instructor was holding a roster, calling roll. Just as they were about to call my name, Han Yu and I squeezed into the back of the line, panting heavily. We finally made it. I chewed on a piping hot steamed bun, my heart still pounding with lingering fear. Right at that moment, an authoritative voice echoed across the field. The principal stood on the high platform, his gaze sweeping over the thousands of freshmen. He paused slightly. I now declare the military training officially begun. Gulp. I swallowed the last bite at my steamed bun with difficulty, praying frantically in my head. Please don't let it be fifth sister. But as the instructors marched toward their respective squads, the field instantly erupted into gasps and shouts. Look, it's Senior He Yuding, the demon instructor from last year. Those whispers instantly maxed out my anxiety. I'm screwed. I want to drop out. Beside me, Han Yue excitedly nudged me with his elbow. Brother He, if the campus belle becomes our instructor, that would be so badass. Badass my ass. You clearly don't know how to spell death. I really wanted to cover his mouth, but I could only feign calmness and say, Fatty, wake up. She's the legendary demon instructor. That means her training standards will be so high they'll make you question your life. No way. The excitement on Han Yue's face instantly froze, visibly replaced by panic. He Yuding turned a deaf ear to the surrounding chatter, walking straight toward our squad. Finance Class 1 and Finance Class 2. Attention. Follow me. At her command, the students of both classes instantly perked up. Only my heart was filled with gloom. Oh heavens. Oh earth. What sin did I commit to deserve this? Under everyone's watchful eyes, He Yuding led the two classes to the shade of the trees by the field. This special treatment overjoyed the students, who all praised her for being as kind as she was beautiful. The buzzing chatter made her frown deeply. Haven't you talked enough? Her overwhelming aura instantly silenced the entire crowd. But right in the middle of this dead silence, a wail exploded right next to me. Holy crap. Scared the hell out of me. My hair instantly stood on end. Damn it, Fatty. You've really killed me this time. Sure enough, He Yuding walked up to me with a stern face. You, step forward. 10 laps around the track, right now. She didn't give me a single second to breathe. A direct death sentence. Fifth sister, you're so ruthless. I didn't dare hesitate, and started jogging dejectedly, watching my retreating back. A flash of satisfaction crossed He Yuding's eyes. Then, her sharp gaze swept over everyone else. Attention, everyone. Military stands for 45 minutes. If anyone dares to move, the whole class gets an extra 5 minutes. All the students instantly stood ramrods straight, terrified of becoming the next me. The scorching track radiated waves of distorted heat. The air was so thick it suffocated me. Lil Bucket, save me. Do you have a stamina recovery card? But the system replied sympathetically, Host, the shop currently only provides moral support. You can do it. You're the best. Under the shade, He Yuding meticulously patrolled the formation, but her peripheral vision remained locked on me on the track. I can't hold on. I really can't hold on, fifth sister. My ancestors, I was really wrong. Here are my pleas for mercy. The corners of He Yuding's tightly pressed lips curled up slightly. Why is this brat's stamina so terrible? But it serves him right. Time passed slowly. The students in the shade started feeling their legs go numb. And when I reached my 6th lap, I suddenly stumbled, my body falling straight toward the scorching track. Seeing this, He Yuding's heart instantly clenched. She dashed across the lawn in a few strides, and right before I smashed into the ground, she yanked me back from midair. He Yuding's voice was filled with unconcealable urgency and panic. He Jingshin, wake up. Can you hear me? I only felt the world spinning. I struggled to open my eyes. Sis, water. I'm so dizzy. Reporting instructor. I'll go get water. Han Yu was the first to snap out of it, roaring as he sprinted toward the supply corner. He Yuding completely abandoned her instructor image, dragging me into the shade, kneeling on one knee, and unbuttoning my collar. She fanned me with her hand. He Jingchen, hang in there. Look at me. Water is coming right away. All the students watched, dumbfounded. The demon instructor, who was cold and ruthless a second ago, now had eyes full of worry. The massive contrast left everyone petrified on the spot. Meanwhile, in the formation, He Xiaofeng's pupils shrank sharply. That nervousness, that heartache and concern, he had never received any of it. Why? He was the true bloodline of the He family. Why did fifth sister only have eyes for him? Just then, Han Yu ran back, panting heavily. Instructor, here's the water, and some cooling oil. He Yuding snatched the water bottle, carefully bringing it to my lips, and slowly fed me half the bottle. As the ice-cold water slid down my throat, color finally returned to my pale face. How do you feel? He Yuding's voice softened. Much better. Just don't have any strength, I said weakly. Seeing me like this, all the anger in He Yuding's heart vanished, leaving only heartache and lingering fear. You were getting heat stroke and still push yourself. Don't you know how to report it? I was about to defend myself, but the moment I met her eyes, I instantly swallowed my words. He Yuding took a deep breath, forcing herself to calm down. Han Yu, help him to the infirmary immediately. Yes, instructor. Han Yu hurriedly helped me up, and we shuffled toward the infirmary. The moment we turned the corner and left He Yuding's line of sight, a sly smile flashed across my face. Good thing I'm smart. The basic combat skills I learned yesterday really saved my life. Otherwise, faking a faint today would have turned into a real one. Host. Faking an illness feels great in the moment, but it's a one-way ticket to the crematorium later. The system's cheeky voice chimed in. What do you know? I rolled my eyes internally. As long as I don't get caught, I'm fine. 10 minutes later, a blast of AC in the infirmary instantly dispelled the heat. I couldn't help but sigh. So good. Han Yu's eyes almost popped out of his head. Brother He, you're fine. You were really faking it just now. Duh. I raised an eyebrow smugly. It's called a tactical retreat. Holy crap. Han Yu bowed in sheer admiration. Brother He, since you're fine, should we sneak back to the dorms? Back to the dorms? I shook my head decisively. No way. Once I've rested enough, I'm going back to train. Han Yue looked at me like I was speaking alien. Bro, he yelled dramatically. You have the guts to fake an illness to trick the instructor, but you don't dare skip training. What does this Fatas know? Tricking fifth sister is a minor offense. Actually skipping training and getting caught, that's a death sentence. Cut the crap. If you want to leave, go by yourself. I'll head back after a short break. It's called seeing things through to the end. I waved my hand, sounding righteous but feeling guilty. Seeing that I insisted on going back, Han Yu had no choice but to helplessly tag along. The two of us mooched off the infirmary's AC for a full hour, before slowly strolling back to the squad. Returning to the shade, I puffed out my chest and shouted loudly. Reporting instructor. He Jingchen and Han Yu request to rejoin the squad. Fifth sister's icy gaze swept over me, pausing on my energetic face. Fall in. My heart instantly bloomed with joy. Fifth sister didn't see through my act. Hearing this, He Yuding's anger instantly ignited. You've got some nerve, He Jingchen. How dare you fake an illness to trick me? Old grudges and new debts. We're settling them all today. And so, 45 minutes later, when the other students were resting and drinking water, her ruthless voice exploded in my ears. He Jingchen. Han Yu, make up for the 45 minutes of military stance you missed. Han Yu and I were instantly petrified. We exchanged a look of utter despair. In each other's eyes, we only saw one phrase. Life is meaningless. Meanwhile, He Xiaofeng, watching this from the grass, felt a rush of pure satisfaction shoot straight to his brain. He Jingchen, you finally got what was coming to you. However, this was merely the appetizer for hell mode. We had just finished our makeup stance and hadn't even caught our breath when He Yuding's demonic voice rang out again. Improper posture. Extra 30 minutes. Sweat stung my eyes. Fifth sister. This is definitely a personal vendetta. Lil Bucket munched on virtual sunflower seeds and teased. Host. Regretting showing off in the infirmary now? If you knew this would happen, why do it in the first place? Just as it finished speaking, He Yuding's icy voice exploded again, still daring to zone out. Another 5 minutes. I was scared out of my wits and didn't dare let my mind wander anymore, gritting my teeth and holding on for dear life. When we finally made it to the end, I felt like a dehydrated sponge. Han Yu straight up collapsed, letting out a pig-slaughtering squeal. In the blink of an eye, it was evening. Sitting in a circle on the field, He Yuding surprisingly softened her voice, saying we were going to have a talent show. But after witnessing her demonic training during the day, who would dare volunteer? The entire crowd was dead silent. The atmosphere was awkward to the extreme. Right at that moment, a clear, confident voice suddenly shattered the silence. Reporting instructor. I'll go. He Xiaofeng stood up briskly and walked to the center, a superior smirk on his lips. I'll perform a routine for everyone. Breakdancing. Whispers instantly broke out around us. Wow, the real young master of the He family is up. He casually rolled his wrists and ankles, and then completely ignited the crowd. A few smooth top rocks with explosive rhythm, followed by a sudden drop, transitioning into high-difficulty power moves. A beautiful backspin, his body spinning like a high-speed top. The spectating students watched without blinking. Even Fifth Sister's eyes showed a hint of admiration. This gave He Xiaofeng a massive rush of controlling the entire stage. He prepared to finish with his most explosive ultimate move, a headspin supported by both hands. But right at his most radiant moment, a loud, abrupt yawn exploded across the field like a thunderclap. The high-speed spinning, He Xiaofeng suddenly wobbled. Bam! He smashed heavily onto the hard ground. In an instant, the entire field went dead silent. All eyes turned in unison toward the source of the sound. They saw me with my mouth wide open, rubbing my eyes, looking completely innocent like I had just woken up. He Xiaofeng snapped his head up, glaring daggers at me. His proudest moment had been completely ruined by my single yawn. Startled by his stare, I chuckled awkwardly. Sorry, everyone. I was too tired and fell asleep. Beside me, Han Yui immediately twisted the knife. Brother He, your snoring sounded like thunder. At that moment, He Yuding's cold voice drifted over. He Jingchen, come up and show us what you've got. As soon as she spoke, He Xiaofeng deliberately raised his voice. Yeah, brother, your duet with the senior last time was so amazing. Sing another song for everyone today. Alarm bells rang in my head. This kid is definitely plotting something. Sure enough, Lil Bucket's voice immediately chimed in. He Xiaofeng has tampered with the microphone. He installed a high-frequency jammer inside. I sneered internally. Cheap tricks. Just wait and see how I turn this around. Hearing my inner thoughts, He Yuding was startled at first, but her curiosity quickly suppressed her anger. You little brat, let's see what kind of tricks you have up your sleeve. Sure. I instantly broke into a brilliant smile, striding forward confidently, and grabbed the tampered microphone. Before the smile on He Xiaofeng's face could fully bloom, I suddenly changed my tune. Singing is fine, but I want to try something fresh. How about a magic trick? Magic trick! The smile on He Xiaofeng's face instantly froze. A lump of frustration stuck in his chest. What the hell is he playing at? Holding the microphone. I wore a mysterious, confident expression. Fellow students, I'll perform a little magic trick to liven things up. But I need an assistant. My gaze swept through the crowd. Student, you're the perfect man for the job. Let's give it up for He Xiaofeng. Hearing this, alarm bells blared in his head. He instinctively wanted to refuse, but I didn't give him the chance, taking the lead to clap loudly. Come on everyone, give him some applause for encouragement. The clueless crowd was instantly hyped up, erupting into enthusiastic applause and cheers. Under everyone's gaze, He Xiaofeng was backed into a corner and couldn't back down. He could only grit his teeth and stiffly shuffle to the center. Thank you so much for your help, student He. I beamed with a wide smile, pulling a red silk scarf from my system space. The first trick, the vanishing scarf. Student He, please inspect it carefully. He Xiaofeng suppressed his disgust and flipped it over a few times, then threw it back to me disdainfully. It's just a normal scarf. I took the scarf, crumpled it into a ball, and hid it in my left fist. I blew on my fist dramatically. Time to witness a miracle. I suddenly opened my left hand. It was completely empty. Low gasps of amazement rippled through the crowd. Beside me, He Xiaofeng curled his lips in contempt. What an outdated trick. The scarf is either hidden in his sleeve or pinched between his fingers. Don't be so hasty. I smiled and opened both hands, showing the palms and backs to everyone. They were completely empty. So, where did the scarf go? The next second, I accurately reached into the back of He Xiaofeng's collar, gave a gentle tug, and pulled out the red silk scarf. The crowd's gasps reached a climax. Meanwhile, He Xiaofeng's face looked worse than if he had swallowed a fly. Bastard. When did he stuff that in there? I raised an eyebrow at him. How's that? Magical enough? But this is just the appetizer. The real show is coming up next. He Xiaofeng's internal alarms blared wildly, but under everyone's watchful eyes, he could only suppress his unease, reluctantly spreading his arms. He Yuding also watched with great interest, curious about what new tricks I could pull off. Just keep that kingly pose. I held the red scarf, waving it mysteriously in front of him, muttering some gibberish. At the same time, I decisively gave the order. Lil Bucket, now! Received. Peace Envoy is ready, equipped with a biochemical surprise. Precision airdrop ready. As the words fell, I violently shoved the red scarf into He Xiaofeng's chest. The moment the scarf touched his chest, accompanied by a flurry of flapping wings and panicked cooing, a plump white dove materialized out of thin air from He Xiaofeng's embrace. Oh my god, it's a live dove. The scene was instantly ignited. Gasps, screams, and applause erupted like a tsunami. Right then, Lil Bucket's voice carried a hint of tension. Host, attention. The dove is experiencing severe stress response. Its physiological system is about to release pressure. He Xiaofeng was completely frozen in place, his pupils dilated to the max, staring at the dove's wildly kicking claws. His hair stood on end. Get away. But what he didn't know was, the real nightmare had just begun. As the startled dove flew high into the air, a glob of milky white filth landed squarely on He Xiaofeng's chest. A violent wave of nausea churned his stomach, almost making him throw up on the spot. Meanwhile, the dove flapped its wings and fled frantically into the night sky. The dead silence only lasted a second, before it was completely shredded by Han Yue's hysterical laughter. The people around also burst into a frenzy of laughter. This magic trick has too much flavor. I'm dying of laughter. He Yuding was also completely dumbfounded. She never expected my magic trick to be this. Where did this little bastard get a dove from? This is too wicked. She bit her lower lip hard to keep from laughing out loud, but the muscles at the corners of her mouth twitched uncontrollably. I held back my laughter, hurriedly stepping forward and pretending to pull out some tissues. Oh my, student He Xiaofeng. An accident. It was purely an accident. Get lost, He Jingchen. Just you wait. He Xiaofeng violently slapped the tissues away. With that, he turned and ran off the field. Watching his disappearing figure, I couldn't hold it in anymore. Lil Bucket, did you see that? That was a perfect 10. Aggro maxed out instantly. Host, you are truly the ceiling of the death-seeking world. I can already hear He Xiaofeng sharpening his knives. After the magic trick ended, even though others went up to sing and dance, it felt like the mood had died down a bit. Finally, with a shout of dismissed, the little talent show came to an end. Time flew by amidst sweat and drill commands. On the afternoon of the 14th day, the military training showkins ended. I rubbed my aching shoulders and let out a long breath. Starting tonight, I'm going to enjoy myself properly. Detecting host's strong desire for relaxation. Recommending Third Sister's Spa. Key point, it's free. My eyes lit up. Makes sense. No time like the present. Tonight it is. Having made up my mind, I quickly slipped away from the cheering crowd and headed toward the dorms. Wait for me. Han Yu chased after me, panting heavily. Brother He, where are you going in such a hurry? I grinned. Fatty. Tonight, I'm taking you to a good place to relax. You in? Han Yue's small eyes instantly lit up. A massage? I don't have any money. Relax, just follow me. You don't need to worry about the money. Han Yu instantly became so excited he was incoherent. Half an hour later, we pushed open the heavy glass doors of the wellness club. The interior decor was incredibly luxurious. Brother He, this is way too high class. Han Yue nervously tugged at the corner of my shirt. I only have enough in my pocket for a bowl of beef noodles. I gave him a reassuring look. I told you it's my treat. I won't let you spend a single cent. As soon as we walked up to the front desk, the manager was taken aback for a moment. Then her face bloomed with unparalleled enthusiasm. Young master, right this way. VIP room 3 has been prepared for you. Holy crap, Brother He. This place belongs to your family? Han Yu's face flushed red with excitement, his eyes filled with worship. Inside the comfortable VIP room, the lighting was soft and the music was soothing. However, this tranquility was quickly shattered. A sudden string of curses echoed from the hallway outside. Call your boss over right now. I want to file a complaint. This was followed by a girl's tearful voice. Sir, I'm sorry, I really tried my best. Bullshit. I spent money, so I'm the boss. Keep dawdling, and see if I don't smash this place to pieces. I frowned. Lil Bucket, what's going on outside? Lil Bucket's voice carried the excitement of someone watching a show. Reporting host. It's a customer dispute. A Mountain of Meat customer is dissatisfied with the female masseuse's service and is currently throwing a massive tantrum. Anger instantly surged within me, daring to bully people on Third Sister's turf. How could I tolerate this? Fatty, I'm going out to take a look. Hearing this, Han Yu quickly scrambled up. Wait for me, Brother He. I yanked open the door to the VIP room. However, the scene before me instantly made me freeze. In the hallway, a man as fat as a small mountain was screaming aggressively at the female masseuse. Are you deaf? Call the boss over here. The masseuse kept her head down, her shoulders trembling uncontrollably. Sir, please be reasonable. You were the one who insisted. I insisted on what? The fat man rudely interrupted her, spit flying everywhere. I wanted you to give me a proper massage. Did you? I took a deep breath, forced a friendly smile, and stepped forward. Hey, big guy, cool down a bit. Harmony brings wealth, right? The fat man snapped his head around. Who the hell are you? Get lost. I'm seeing the boss today no matter what. If she doesn't get fired, I'll write my name backward. Hearing this, the smile on my face faded a bit. We need to be reasonable here. Tell me first, what exactly about this masseuse's service dissatisfied you? Reasonable? The fat man's voice suddenly pitched up an octave. She was slacking off on the job. I spent money to enjoy myself, not to get pissed off. Slacking off? I stepped closer to him. Empty words won't cut it. Let's go to the security room right now and take a look. Let's see how the masseuse was supposedly slacking off. Hearing about the security footage, the fat guy's eyes instantly flashed with panic, but he still talked tough. You think you can just watch it because you want to? Who the hell do you think you are? If you're not the boss, get lost. I'm not the boss, but I'm definitely making this my business today. I spoke coldly. You little bastard, you're really asking for death. The fat guy's face flushed red from the provocation. Relying on his size advantage, he gathered all his strength and swung a vicious slap at me. My eyes suddenly turned cold. I took a slight step back and dodged my upper body to the side. The fat guy's slap hit nothing but air. Because he used too much force, he stumbled and lunged forward awkwardly. Ouch! Damn it. Right at that moment, a cold and authoritative female voice echoed down the hallway. Stop right there. Who dares to cause trouble on my turf? Seeing the real boss arrive, the fat guy scrambled to his feet in a panic. He rushed to complain first. Bossy, you're finally here. They ganged up and bullied me. They even pushed me down. Hiduojuo's eyes were filled with disgust. She didn't say a word. She just casually waved her hand. The two security guards behind her instantly stepped forward. They grabbed the fat guy's shoulders from the left and right. Without a word, they lifted him up and dragged him toward the exit. I watched, completely dumbfounded. Third sister is so badass. This way of doing things is so cool and domineering. The fat guy kicked his legs and cursed loudly. Let go of me, you shady shop. I'm gonna tear this trashy place down. But Hiduojuo didn't even furrow her brow. Throw him further away. Don't let him dirty the carpet at the entrance. The cursing gradually faded away. The hallway finally returned to silence. I clicked my tongue. That damn fat guy still dared to talk tough before leaving. Host, according to the energy fluctuation analysis, it's highly likely he wasn't just bluffing. Trouble is probably already on the way. What's there to be afraid of? Third sister is here. I immediately turned to Hiduojuo, my face covered in a flattering smile. Hiduojuo shot me an exasperated glare. She turned to comfort the female masseuse. Xiaolu, you must be terrified. Go get some rest. Take some paid leave. And your bonus will be doubled. Thank you, boss he. Thank you, young master. Xiaolu bowed again in gratitude. Hiduojuo then looked at me, her aura softening a lot. All right, you two just finished military training and you're already causing trouble. Hurry up and go back. Are you really waiting for them to bring people to block the door? Yes, ma'am. I grabbed Han Yu, who was still grinning foolishly, and quickly slipped back into the private room. Han Yu patted his chest, still lingering with fear. Your third sister is too fierce, but that fat guy said he was calling people. Are we really going to be okay? I waved my hand. Relax, even if the sky falls, my third sister will hold it up. Even so, I still muttered to Xiao Tong in my mind. Xiao Tong, keep a close eye on things. If some blind fools really show up, remember to give me an early warning. Received. Host. Just relax and enjoy. This system will escort and protect you. In the blink of an eye, over half an hour passed. Han Yu and I changed our clothes, feeling refreshed. However, just as we walked into the first floor lobby, we heard a cynical male voice coming from the front desk. Yo, third, Miss He. What an imposing presence you have. I didn't expect that the person my subordinate offended would actually be a big shot like you. Hiduojuo's voice revealed no emotion. Lu Long, you're not staying in Kun City to be your local emperor. What are you doing running over to Luo City? Xiao Tong, who's this pretentious prick? As I spoke, I quietly crept closer, ready to enjoy the drama. Xiao Tong's voice instantly filled with gossipy excitement. The sole heir of the Lu family in Kun City. He looks refined on the surface, but he's actually ruthless and cruel. Danger level 7 stars. The fat guy was crying and snotting as he complained to Lu Long. Young Master Lu, you have to stand up for me. Especially that kid. Shut up. Lu Long interrupted with a fake smile. Third miss, you still have to give me an explanation, don't you? An explanation? A cold sneer curled on Hiduojuo's lips. Your man caused trouble on my turf. The fact that I didn't call the cops and have him locked up is already giving you a huge amount of face. Lu Long's gaze suddenly locked onto me like a hawk. This must be the legendary young Master He, right? Hearing about you 100 times isn't as good as seeing you once. I've looked forward to meeting you for a long time. Looked forward to meeting me, my ass. I cursed him out in my head, my face, clearly showing my disdain for this hypocritical politeness. What exactly is this guy plotting? Hey, host, you finally asked the key question. Xiao Tong's voice echoed in my mind. System intelligence analysis. Lu Long's true purpose for this trip is He Xiaofeng. Xiao Tong's tone instantly turned serious. He Xiaofeng is the mastermind behind this collaboration. Project codename, Shadow Matrix. On the surface, it's a high-end cybersecurity company, but his wild ambition is to control the core secrets of all the wealthy families in Luo City. As soon as Lu Long heard this, he jumped right on board. I gasped in shock upon hearing this. Controlling the secrets of all the wealthy families in Luo City? He Xiaofeng. What is this madman trying to do? He wants to be the local emperor of Luo City. You guessed it. Xiao Tong's voice carried a chilling tone. He wants to use the Shadow Matrix as a disguise, to steal those dark, hidden secrets. Once he controls those, it's equivalent to holding the entire high society of Luo City by the throat. As for that Lu Long, the Lu family of Kun City is a local tyrant in the south. Their biggest asset is their group of top-tier hackers. He Xiaofeng used this massive pie to lure Lu Long over. The two of them are completely in cahoots, each taking what they need. After hearing all this, I only felt a wave of coldness shoot straight from the soles of my feet to the top of my head. This madman, for the sake of power and revenge, has completely lost his mind. Just as I was deeply shaken by this monstrous conspiracy, a sinister glint flashed in Lu Long's eyes. Third miss, it was my man, who didn't understand the rules. I'll bring him to apologize to you and your staff. However, he suddenly changed his tone. Do me a favor tonight, have this kid admit his mistake, and we'll let this matter go. After hearing this, Hiduojuo pressed her lips into a thin line. Young Master Lu, I only give face to those worthy of respect. Do you think he deserves it? As for whatever tricks you're trying to pull in Luo City, she paused slightly. The waters in Luo City are very deep, on the He family's turf. Not just anyone can come and run wild. Liu Long's face instantly turned as black as the bottom of a pot. A trace of an ominous premonition crept up in his heart. I listened from the side, my blood boiling with excitement. Third sister's move was way too cool. That's exactly how he should be treated. Host, didn't you claim to be a master hacker? Your chance is here. Hurry up and make a move. Xiao Tong, stop messing around. A god-tier expert of my level? Casually making a move would destroy the balance of the world. What if I get banned? Xiao Tong's silence seemed to type out a long string of speechless ellipses in the air. Hiduojuo caught my gaze, and a subtle curve inadvertently formed at the corner of her mouth. She instantly had a plan in mind. After a few seconds of dead silence, Liu Long squeezed the words through his teeth. Very well. Hiduojuo, you've got guts. The feud is settled today. Just you wait. He abruptly turned his head, his gaze stabbing into me like a knife. And you. Enjoy your final moments of peace. Dropping those harsh words, he strode out of the wellness center without looking back. Watching that aggressive figure leave, Hiduojuo quickly calculated a countermeasure. If the secrets were leaked, it would be a devastating disaster. She had to discuss this with eldest sister immediately. Her scrutinizing gaze gave me the creeps. I subconsciously shrank my neck. Third sister, why are you looking at me like that? Come with me, Hiduojuo ordered, leaving no room for argument. She grabbed my wrist and dragged me outside. Hey! Slow down. Where are we going? My friend is still here. I was dragged so hard I almost tripped. As soon as I said that, Hanyu's loud voice boomed from behind. Bro, go on. Don't worry. Don't mind me. Before I could even reply, I was already shoved into the car. 10 minutes later, top floor CEO office of the He Group. Hiduojuo cut straight to the chase. Big sis, the Liu family is coming right at us this time. We need to beef up our cybersecurity immediately. To stop them from playing dirty. He Wanqing tapped her fingers lightly on the desk. I've read the files. Their hacker capabilities are unknown, but the risk is extremely high. Our firewall definitely needs an upgrade. The two exchanged a knowing look, and their eyes simultaneously locked onto me as I looked down, playing on my phone. He Wanqing pondered for a moment. Old Six, how about I give you a task? A task? What task? Alarm bells went off in my head. No way. How did I get dragged into this? Little Bucket immediately jumped out to rub salt in the wound. Host, weren't you just bragging about being the invincible lone wolf of the coding world? I was just blowing hot air, and you believed it? I put on a miserable face and waved my hands frantically. Big sis, I'm just a noob. I can't handle such a huge responsibility. He Wanqing and Hiduojuo smiled at each other, their eyes full of understanding. If you take this job, I'll give you 5 million. Are you in? I'm in. I yelled reflexively, but I regretted it the very next second. Wait, no. Big sis, I can't do it. I really can't. I'm doomed. My stupid mouth just loses control the moment it hears about money. Little Bucket, save me. If I screw this up, Big sis will skin me alive. Relax, host. They're just mere hackers. With a single thought, I can make them all drop to their knees and sing Conquer, as expected of Brother Bucket. From now on, this little bro is following your lead. Hearing this, I instantly straightened my back, my confidence returning. He Wanqing watched my drastic change in expression, and added meaningfully, eldest sister, believes in your abilities. I immediately put on a sycophantic smile. No problem, eldest sister. Third sister, leave this to me. I guarantee. I'll make our family's cybersecurity absolutely watertight. Wait for my notice on the specific arrangements. You can go back for now. He Wanqing waved her hand and sent me off. Back at the He family mansion, seeing my smug look, Xiao Tong's voice was full of helplessness and worry. Host, you're getting way too full of yourself. Do you need me to physically cool you down? Cool down what? I spun around excitedly in my chair. I feel like a god right now. Xiao Tong fell silent, silently beginning to search for emergency protocols. For a host suffering from mental instability due to extreme ego inflation. Suddenly, a burst of maniacal laughter echoed in the room. I had dug up some website from who knows where. Host, this website looks a bit sketchy. Xiao Tong's tone revealed a hint of vigilance. You should look at me with new eyes now. I scrolled the mouse, skimming through the dazzling array of tasks on the screen. Suddenly, my movements froze. This order is pretty interesting. I couldn't believe it. The payout was 10 million right off the bat. This rich lady is way too generous. This is much faster money than with eldest sister. My fingers flew as I slammed the mouse down. Done. Xiao Tong, did you see that? This is the right way to make money. God is practically chasing me to feed me. But Xiao Tong's voice carried a hint of hesitation. Host, the money is quick, sure, but the security system of the Cloud International Hotel is military grade. I clicked my tongue impatiently and interrupted him. Xiao Tong, a mere firewall is as thin as paper in my eyes. Watch how I finish this in a flash. The next second, my fingers danced across the keyboard, leaving after images. In just 10 minutes, the chat logs from that man's phone appeared on the screen. My stomach churned violently. I dry heaved into the air, my face written all over with disgust. Xiao Tong's voice chimed in right on time. Host, isn't 10 million sweet enough? Right. I forced down my nausea and took the chat logs, location data, and hallway security footage, packing and encrypting them. With one click, I sent them to the rich lady. In less than a minute, the other party replied, Good. Give me your card number. I'll transfer the money immediately. I immediately tossed over a cute puppy sticker and conveniently attached my card number. The next second, a crisp text notification rang from my phone. Looking at the string of zeros in my account balance, my mouth grinned so wide it almost reached the sky. This speed, the power of a rich lady is truly terrifying. At this moment, Xiao Tong's voice turned somewhat grave. Host. I casually scanned that guy, and the results aren't great. After comparing with the database, that man is Ye Shuho, the only son of the second branch of the Ye family in Jing City. With his background, he can definitely find out who hacked his phone. We're in trouble. Hearing this, I was so shocked I almost bit my tongue. The Yi family of Jing City? Xiao Tong nodded heavily. That's right. The Yi family is the #1 wealthy family in Jing City. Their power is far above the He families. That fierce? I clicked my tongue, then sneered. So what if it's the Ye family? In front of my god-tier hacking skills, they're all just paper tigers. While bragging, my fingers rapidly tapped the keyboard. Xiao Tong, I'll open your eyes today. First layer. Phantom Maze. Global IP random jumping. They can't track us even if they try. Second layer. Quantum encryption. Keys update 10,000 times per second. Even if they invite gods, they'd have to calculate until the end of time. Third layer. Time hourglass. Real-time erasure of all operation traces. Fourth layer. The ultimate killer move. Chaos Hive Trap. Whoever dares to touch it gets a family bucket of viruses. It'll make them doubt their very existence. Mission accomplished. I slammed the enter key heavily. A gorgeous stream of data instantly flashed across the screen. The plane returned to normal, as if that earth-shattering operation had never happened. I slouched comfortably in my gaming chair. Little bucket, the Yi family won't even be able to touch the hem of my clothes. Trying to hack me? Keep dreaming. Host. Your choice of words is as exaggerated as ever. But I must admit, this defense system is several eras ahead of current technology. Hearing that, my ego practically shot through the roof. Of course it is. Just look at whose masterpiece this is. Meanwhile, in a top-tier suite in Jingcheng, Yi Shuheng's phone started vibrating like crazy. The moment he answered, a thunderous roar erupted from the other end. You ungrateful bastard. Get your ass back here right now. Your video has spread all over Jingcheng. Which god did you manage to piss off? Yi Shuheng's face instantly turned deathly pale. He frantically opened his email. Sure enough, an anonymous zip file was sitting quietly in his inbox. He clicked it open, and it was full of irrefutable evidence he couldn't deny. Cold sweat instantly soaked his back. He forced himself to calm down, and immediately dialed an encrypted number. Old K, I don't care what methods you use. Find out right now. Which son of a bitch hacked my phone? I'm going to tear him to pieces. A gloomy voice came from the other end. Young master, we started investigating immediately. But the other party's methods are extremely advanced. We stepped into several traps the moment we probed them, lost over a dozen top-tier servers, and got completely played by a bunch of fake leads, pointing to Shadow International and the Zhang family. We're running in circles. Trash. A bunch of useless losers. Yi Shuheng trembled with rage. Search. Dig 3 feet into the ground if you have to. But find him. At this moment, my carefully crafted barrier was running silently, completely blocking out the pursuit from Jingcheng. Looking at the glowing, colorful star barrier on the screen, I couldn't help but click my tongue in admiration. This wall the size of mine is simply a work of art. Just as I was getting more and more smug, looking at it, a thought suddenly popped into my head. I pulled open the drawer and rummaged through it. Finally, I managed to dig out an ordinary-looking black metal USB drive. I choose you. I pinched the USB drive, deliberately showing a look of disgust on my face. Although it's a bit ugly, it barely matches up. Xiao Tong held back a laugh and said, Host, are you sure you want to use such a down-to-earth thing to store your era-surpassing work of art? I stiffened my neck and retorted, What do you know? This is called hiding in plain sight. The more ordinary it is, the safer it is. With that, I plugged the USB drive straight in. Come on, babies. Be good and move into your new home. Watching the data stream on the screen begin to compress in an orderly manner, I entered the core command, bind host's biometric data. 5 minutes later, the packaging was complete. A faint blue light flashed across the surface of the USB drive, and then it completely returned to being ordinary. Done. I carefully unplugged the USB drive and stuffed it into the deepest compartment of my laptop bag. Xiao Tong's flattery arrived right on time. Host is mighty. The firewall is badass. Early the next morning, I was sleeping soundly, but was woken up by a series of urgent knocks on the door. He Wanqing's cold voice came from outside. Old 6, get up. The sun is already baking your ass. I mumbled a response groggily, and struggled to pry my eyelids open a crack. Seeing no movement from my end, He Wanqing outside the door, furrowed her delicate brows, and actually pushed the door open and walked right in. The next second, her gaze landed squarely on my flashy boxer. At this moment, the air seemed to instantly freeze. Holy shit. I jolted violently, waking up completely. I frantically grabbed the blanket to cover myself. He Wanqing's face flushed with 2 patches of red. She pretended to be calm and scolded. I didn't see anything. Hurry up and get up. Meet me downstairs. You're coming to the company with me. With that, she turned and left, slamming the door shut with a loud bang. I patted my chest like a survivor of a disaster. Mommy, my innocence was almost ruined, but I didn't dare to delay. I did a kip up and flipped out of bed. 10 minutes later, car drove smoothly out of the villa. As we drove, I realized this wasn't the way to the company at all. So I turned my head in confusion and asked, eldest sister, are we going to the company? He Wanqing kept her eyes on the road ahead, a meaningful smile curling on her lips. We're going to check the progress at plot 20007 first. My heart skipped a beat. I immediately called out to Xiao Tong in my mind. That plot of land has already started construction. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Who knew Xiao Tong would actually freeze up at this moment? Searching database. No reliable solutions available at the moment. I'm screwed, I wailed inwardly. Why does this broken system always drop the ball at critical moments? Xiao Tong suggested cheekily. Hey, host. Why don't you just confess to your eldest sister? Let me beg her? I roared frantically in my mind. Impossible. Never in this lifetime. However, this tough attitude only lasted for half an hour. Once we arrived at the construction site, I was desperately clinging to He Wanqing's hand, begging bitterly. Eldest sister, look at this huge project. Can I just have one little thing as a souvenir? He Wanqing tilted her head slightly, a hint of amusement in her voice. A souvenir. You want it that badly, and it has to be this specific one. My heart skipped a beat, sensing something was wrong. I'm doomed. It's all your fault for coming up with this terrible idea, Xiao Tong retorted aggrievedly. I'm not taking the blame for this. You're the one who chickened out in seconds, okay? Before I could snap back in my mind, He Wanqing suddenly reached out and pinched my chin, forcing me to look up. Do you need to beg for things that belong to the He family? I froze for a second. There's hope, eldest sister agreed. I didn't expect her next sentence to make me feel like I plunged into an ice cave. But whether I give it to you, and when I give it to you, I'm the one calling the shots here. He Wanqing let go and wiped her hands on my clothes in disgust. Now put away that pathetic look of yours and come with me to check the construction progress. All that excitement for nothing. I grumbled endlessly in my head, but could only force out a smile uglier than crying. Yes, big sis is wise and mighty. But right at that moment, a commotion and gasps suddenly erupted not far away. Looks like we dug something up. Everyone, be careful. Make sure you don't break it. He Wanqing and I turned our heads to look at the same time. What caught our eyes was that in the freshly turned soil, a striking color was actually exposed. Even though it was covered in dirt, the smooth glaze and blue and white patterns still looked extraordinary under the sunlight. The foreman looked at He Wanqing with pleasant surprise. President He, did we just dig up an antique? Look at this. We struck gold. We're rich. My breathing quickened. Big sis, what do you think of this souvenir? But He Wanqing completely ignored me. She took out her phone and made a call. Jiwan, contact the Municipal Cultural Relics Bureau immediately. Have them send experts over. After hanging up, she scanned the area, her gaze finally landing on my face. We'll talk after. The state appraises it. Old Six, you better remember this. We are business people. But more importantly, we are citizens. You can't just take whatever is buried underground. Those words made my brain buzz. It's over. It's all over. My family heirloom just became a national treasure. I asked frantically in my mind, little bucket, if I rush in right now, grab that big jar, and run, what are my chances of success? Friendly reminder, host, your success rate is 0. 5 minutes later, Yi Zhuan hurried over to report. President He, the Cultural Relics Bureau, and the Archaeological Institute said they'll be here within half an hour. He Wanqing nodded, while secretly listening to my internal wailing and howling. Little bucket, look at how beautiful that Yu Huchin vase is, and that little bowl would be perfect for drinking soup. Those were all mine. Little bucket silently scanned them, projecting the images of the porcelain and the analysis results directly into my mind. Mid to late Ming Dynasty blue and white porcelain. Priceless. Stop showing me. Stop. If you show me any more, my heart is going to break. Half an hour later, the experts' convoy finally arrived in a grand procession. He Wanqing stepped forward. Hello, Professor Wang. The site has been secured. It hasn't been disturbed at all. President He, your quick response and proper handling are commendable. Thank you so much. Professor Wang cast a grateful look at the porcelain and immediately led his team to start a professional excavation. I could only crane my neck and watch helplessly from outside the police line. Those are my treasures. Right at that moment, a young team member suddenly shouted, Professor, there's a hidden compartment in this jar. It sounds like there's something inside. The experts instantly grew excited upon hearing this. Even He Wanqing slightly raised an eyebrow. I instantly revived with full health and jumped up. Holy crap, the real treasure is inside. Dog system. Scan it quickly and see what it is. Host, there is an energy field blocking it. I cannot scan it. I need close contact to investigate. My heartbeat instantly accelerated. I stood up in excitement. After some investigation, Professor Wang spoke cautiously. President He, we need to take this back to the lab to open it without damaging it. The value of this find might far exceed our estimates. He Wanqing nodded. Protecting cultural relics is the top priority. We will fully cooperate. However, if the contents turn out to be non-core artifacts, I wonder if, after your research and registration, you might consider handling them with some flexibility. Professor Wang understood perfectly. Rest assured, President He, if that is indeed the case, and it doesn't affect the research, the He Group, as the discoverer, can apply to keep or buy them back. There's a chance. Big sis, did you hear that? There's a chance. I was screaming frantically in my head. Thank you. We'll await your good news. He Wonking smiled and watched them leave. I immediately put on a flattering smile, rubbed my hands together, and went up to her. Big sis, did you hear that? There's really a chance. The stuff in the hidden compartment. He Wonking turned her head and asked, Old Six, you want that souvenir? I nodded like a woodpecker. Yes, I really want it. Big sis, you're the best. Fine, but I have 2 conditions. Until the results are out, keep your mouth shut. If you dare leak a single word, you'll face the consequences. The threat in her words was self-evident. I immediately pointed to the sky and swore, I promise my lips are sealed, tighter than a clam. He Wonching nodded, crossing her arms. Second, tell me how you knew there was something underground. My smile instantly froze on my face. I'm dead. Dog system, save me. How am I supposed to explain this? Little Bucket panicked too. Stay calm. Host, quickly make up something believable. Just say it's an ancestral treasure map. He Wonching didn't rush me. She quietly listened to my conversation with Little Bucket, waiting to see what kind of nonsense I'd come up with. Just as I was about to suffocate, a flash of inspiration hit me. Big sis, a while ago, I found an old, thread-bound local gazetteer in the study of the old house. Tucked inside was a blurry, hand-drawn map fragment. It had a spot marked on it, with a 2-character name scribbled crookedly next to it. I saw the location was right around here. I didn't expect it to actually be real. Perfect. I gave myself a massive thumbs up in my head and took the chance to curse Little Bucket. Dog system, you're completely useless at critical moments. I still have to rely on my own wits. He Wonching almost couldn't keep a straight face. She deliberately dragged out her tone. Which gazetteer? What's the book called? And where is this map fragment? Cold sweat broke out on my forehead from anxiety. After a long silence, I stammered. The book was called something like Jiangdu Old Tales and Lost Histories. I was so excited that day. I accidentally knocked over an inkstone. The ink spilled all over it, and the fragment turned into mush. It took me forever to clean it up. I was afraid you'd scold me, so I didn't dare say anything. I lowered my head guiltily. That should be enough to fool her, right? He Wonching sneered inwardly. This little bastard is terrible at lying, but he did manage to make her see him in a new light. So that's how it is. Her voice betrayed no emotion. Ruining an important clue definitely deserves punishment. I snapped my head up, but the joy that had just sparked in my eyes was instantly replaced by the terror of being punished. But considering you made the discovery, your merits and faults cancel each other out. She delivered an unquestionable verdict. Your remaining punishment is to take care of Shadow Fang for me. Hearing this, I immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Don't worry, big sis. I promise they won't know what hit them. He Wonching's brow twitched imperceptibly. Let's go. Come back to the company with me. The He Group's lifeline is in your hands. If you screw this up, you won't be able to bear the consequences. Understood. I leaped up like a carp. Little Bucket, grab your weapons. Yours truly is going to war. Little Bucket's electronic voice took on the passionate rhythm of a war drum. Roger that. Watching my back as I charged out the door like I was on steroids. He Wonching rubbed her temples helplessly. Half an hour later, the He Group's cybersecurity department. The elevator doors slid open with a ding. The sight of the 49th floor instantly hit my eyes. This place looks a bit like the Matrix. I marveled inwardly, but I had to keep a straight face. He Wonching walked straight toward the private office at the very back and pushed open the heavy soundproof door. The 3 people inside looked up simultaneously. President He. Their probing gazes then landed on me. He Wonching walked to the head seat and got straight to the point. This is He Jing-chen. From today on, he will be in full charge of Deep Blue and the core operations against the Liu family. As soon as she finished, Supervisor Shilei frowned deeply. President He, Deep Blue concerns, the group's lifeline. How much does the young master know about cybersecurity? Qin Feng, standing nearby, scoffed. Yeah, President He, the boss is right. We only respect skills here, kid. You can't stand your ground just by talking big and relying on your status. I shoved my hands in my pockets. Not convinced? Then let's compete. Bring it on. I'll take you all. If you're afraid of losing, just chicken out now. Those words completely ignited Qin Feng's temper. Let's do it. Whoever loses gets the hell out. Seeing He Wonching's tacit approval, Supervisor Shilei coldly announced the rules. The target is the internal test server. Fortress 07. Whoever gets the highest clearance first wins. No problem. I grinned and walked over to the most ordinary workstation, secretly giving Little Bucket an order. Keep a close eye on them. Don't let them pull any tricks. Understood, host. Escorting you now. I'll also screen record this, so you can relive your highlight moment later. 5 minutes later, with a sharp shout from Shilei, the competition began. Instantly, the only sound in the office was the clacking of keyboards. Shilei, Meiying, and Qin Feng worked together flawlessly. Data streams refreshed frantically. Meanwhile, my fingers had turned into a blur, moving so fast it was dazzling. Over a dozen windows popped up on my screen instantly, and code cascaded down like a waterfall. He Wonching stood to the side, staring at my operation, a storm of shock already raging in her heart. The 3 of them caught a glimpse of my flying hand speed from the corner of their eyes, and their hearts skipped a beat. They were probably muttering to themselves, is this kid actually not a total loser? But what left them truly dumbfounded was yet to come. In less than 2 minutes, a green prompt suddenly popped up on the screen. Done. I spat out the word casually, pulled out my phone, and started scrolling leisurely. Chile caught sight of this, and almost spat blood all over his screen. Focus! Everyone. He's definitely just bluffing. Hearing this, Qin Feng and Mei Ying's eyes instantly turned extremely serious. Time ticked by minute. 10 minutes later, they finally managed to breach the core's outer perimeter. They were just one step away from getting the highest clearance. 12 minutes. Shile set up the final channel, and Mei Ying's code cut in precisely. Qin Feng's finger hovered over the enter key, ready to launch the final strike. But right at that moment, a crisp notification sound chimed from all three of their computers simultaneously. Their screens were suddenly filled with a massive GIF. A chibi cartoon version of me was sitting smugly on a throne of code, legs crossed, holding up a trophy. Below it was a line of rainbow-colored text, "Arrogant noob. If you suck, practice more," and their clearance monitoring windows clearly displayed. Highest administrator clearance acquired. User, He Jingchen. Time, 1 minute 58 seconds. The office instantly fell dead silent. He lay froze in his chair, his mind completely blank. Qin Feng's finger, still hovering over the enter key, trembled violently. All the color drained from his face. The skills he was so proud of were nothing but a joke in front of me. He Wanqing looked at their three dumbfounded faces, then turned to me, the corners of her mouth finally twitching up into a slight smile. I put my phone away and strolled over to them. "I let you win, you three. Can we talk about work now?" In this extremely quiet atmosphere, something unexpected suddenly happened. Qin Feng suddenly shot up from his seat and dropped to both knees. "Master, please accept me as your disciple. I was blind to not recognize your greatness." "What the hell?" I jumped in fright. "Calm down. A man's knees are worth their weight in gold. If you don't accept me, master, I'll never get up." Qin Feng hugged my legs even tighter. I was going crazy inside. Little Bucket quickly scanned his brain. Is he infected with a virus? Reporting host. The target's emotions are extremely hyped. His admiration level is off the charts. I suggest taking him in as a lackey. He Wanqing, standing to the side, finally couldn't watch anymore. "Qin Feng, get up. What a disgrace." Chile hurried forward to pull him up. "Qin Feng, get up. This is too embarrassing." In the end, it took several of them scrambling to forcefully peel Qin Feng off my legs. He kept yelling, "Master, think about it. Master." Still shaken, I smoothed out my wrinkled pant legs. "I know you guys weren't convinced and thought I was just a nepo baby. That's fine. In the tech world, skills do the talking." I pointed at the smirking chibi on the screen and held up one finger. "The Liu family's Shadow Fang is nothing but a bunch of clowns in my eyes. If they dare reach out, I'll chop all their claws off. Second, follow me and listen to my orders. I'll show you what real cybersecurity is, what it truly means to be indestructible." After saying that, I pulled out the USB drive I backed up last night and tossed it to Qin Feng. "I made this. It's called the Star Barrier. Take it and study it. I guarantee I'll complete the mission." Qin Feng took the USB drive, his eyes still burning with fanaticism. I muttered in my heart, "Little Bucket, this fanatic fan is way too scary." Little Bucket's voice was full of teasing. "Just get used to it, host. Think about the 5 million. Think about your rich big sister. This is a problem exclusive to the strong." The three of them immediately gathered around the computer and carefully plugged in the USB drive. With a beep, the computer successfully recognized it. Qin Feng couldn't wait to click. "Open the core engines. Main program code." Meanwhile, Shile opened the deployment instructions. Looking at the maddeningly simple 3 lines of text, his mouth couldn't help but twitch. But when he saw the core engine's architecture diagram, he was completely stunned. It was a topology structure he wouldn't even dare to imagine. The core wasn't a traditional firewall, but a self-circulating singularity model, driven by an incomprehensible chaos algorithm for defense. The rules weren't rigid, but dynamically generated and optimized. It could even evolve. "This architecture," Shile muttered to himself, his eyes full of shock. "It's almost like it's alive." On the other side, Mei Ying was completely immersed in the ocean of the rule library. Quickly scanning through a few files, he realized there was no IP blacklist in the rule library at all. It was entirely composed of highly abstract behavioral patterns. What was even more terrifying was that between the rules, there were complex logical correlations and weights that could dynamically adjust based on the attack. The fiercer the attack, the more fatal the counterattack. Behavioral patterns, dynamic weights, correlated responses. Mei Ying's breathing beneath his mask nearly stopped. This predictive ability is practically a miracle. Meanwhile, Qin Feng jumped straight to the attack simulation combat module. He simulated several advanced penetration techniques in his head, but the results made his scalp tingle. My god. It's not defending, it's hunting. It's setting traps for the attackers. How did you even come up with this? This exclamation instantly broke the dead silence in the office. Shile and Mei Ying looked up at the same time, both seeing in each other's eyes the shock and ecstasy of discovering a new world. "How about it, Little Bucket? This thing isn't too bad, right?" I smugly wagged my imaginary tail in my mind. "Host, please accept Little Bucket's knees. This Star Barrier is an absolute dimensional strike on Earth." Listening to the trio's exclamations and Little Bucket's flattery, I figured it was about time to stop playing dead. I opened my eyes. "Look at you guys, acting like you've never seen the world. It's just a freshly baked little toy. Is there any need to get this excited? Study it well and learn from it. The concepts in here are just the tip of the iceberg. There will be plenty more things to open your eyes in the future." Although those words were boundlessly arrogant, hearing them now, Shile and the other two didn't have a single shred of doubt left. Qin Feng was the first to react. Yes, Master, your disciple will definitely study it diligently. Shilei also took a deep breath, nodding solemnly. Young Master, I've learned a lot. This starlight barrier is enough to change the entire industry's landscape. Phantom also gave a slight nod, looking into my eyes, leaving only pure respect and a hint of possessiveness. The heavy stone in He Wanqing's heart finally dropped completely. This kid really does have some skills. I keenly caught that appreciative gaze from behind. The stone in my own heart also fell to the ground. Woohoo! The 5 million is secured. Plus the rich sister's 10 million, and big sister's 5 million. Yours truly is finally a multimillionaire. All right, set up the test environment and run it first. I'm going out for some fresh air. I shoved my hands into my pockets. Humming a little tune, I strolled leisurely toward the door. The smile on He Wanqing's face instantly vanished. Good job. I'll take you out for lunch later. For now, just take a walk around the company. Secured, it's totally secured. That 5 million is definitely in the bag this time. With this massive sum of money, even if I get kicked out of the house later, I can still live like a king. But Xiao Tong's electronic voice sounded helpless. Host, I suggest you check the housing prices in Luocheng first. Shoo. Stop raining on my parade. My face instantly lit up with a flattering smile. You got it, big sister. Don't worry. I promise I won't cause any trouble. Hearing my inner thoughts, He Wanqing got furious. She turned her head and walked away, just as I was eagerly about to follow her. Xiao Tong's voice suddenly exploded in my mind. Alert! Alert! Detected a suspicious, highly destructive data stream. My footsteps subconsciously halted. What the heck? Host. Locked onto the Zhao family's mole, Lu Hu. Third row, front left, the guy in the dark gray hoodie, pretending to debug the server. A playful smirk tugged at the corner of my mouth. Xiao Tong. Since when did the entry barrier for our Heshi group become so low? Host. This guy managed to get in, purely through the back door of Feng Wei, the minister of the interview department. That guy is also a mole planted by the Zhao family. What a classic bait and switch. A golden glint flashed in my eyes. I decided to go meet this Minister Feng. Hey, host. Xiao Tong was full of confusion. What about that big idiot Lu Hu in the corner? Are you just going to ignore him? Why should I care about him? Let him research. It'd be best if he drags his whole team into it. I guarantee they'll get a good taste of what a true code trap is. That's absolutely brilliant. Host, you are wise and invincible. Xiao Tong immediately offered the highest level of flattery. Hearing my inner thoughts, He Wanqing beside me instantly became alert. Without a moment's hesitation, she turned around and headed straight for the monitoring center. Arriving at the 32nd floor, I followed Xiao Tong's guidance, stopping in front of an office. Too lazy to even knock. I just twisted the doorknob and barged right in. Hearing the door open, Feng Wei, who was working, looked up in annoyance. But when he saw clearly that it was me, the annoyance on his face instantly turned into panic. Young master, what brings you to our interview department? Please, have a seat. I slowly strolled up to his desk. Minister Feng, you seem quite busy. Thanks to the company's blessings, I am a bit busy. Feng Wei rubbed his hands together. May I ask if the young master has any instructions for me? Instructions? I picked up his nameplate and toyed with it in my hands. Minister Feng, I'm just a little curious. When our Heshi group's tech department recruits people, it should be very strict, right? Of course. Feng Wei immediately straightened his back. Every step is strictly vetted. I guarantee that everyone who gets in is the elite of the elite. Strictly vetted? Carefully selected? I slammed the nameplate onto the desk with a smack. Then what's the deal with that guy named Lu Hu in the tech department? The smile on Feng Wei's face instantly froze. He forced himself to calm down. I remember him. That young man has solid technical skills. Several tech supervisors highly approved of him. Solid? I cut him off directly. Minister Feng. Are you sure you know his background? Fine beads of sweat instantly popped up on Feng Wei's forehead. Young master, what do you mean? We strictly followed the procedures. Did the procedures include finding out that he's a dog raised by the Zhao family? Did you really think you did it flawlessly? I asked with a cold sneer. Feng Wei's legs gave out. He slumped directly onto the floor. Speechless. He watched as I slowly crouched down. Now you have two choices. 1, I send you to jail for a few years. As for whether the Zhao family will bail you out, I have no idea. 2, you continue being the minister of the interview department. Hand over all the evidence of your contact with the Zhao family to me, and then obediently be my informant. Feng Wei's voice was trembling. I choose the second option. Young master, I'll listen to whatever you say. Very good. From now on, your life is in my hands. Don't try any tricks. Otherwise, I didn't finish the sentence. I just gave him an icy smile. Feng Wei nodded frantically like a chicken pecking at rice. I wouldn't dare. I absolutely wouldn't dare. Don't touch that Lu Hu for now. Organize everything you know right now. I'll be back to check it later. Understood? Yes. Young master. I pulled the door open and walked out smoothly, taking care of a mole like Feng Wei, and conveniently planting an obedient spy back into the Zhao family. I can even use him to screw the Zhao family over. This move is absolutely flawless in my eyes, but Xiao Tong still felt it wasn't exciting enough. Host, aren't you going to teach him a harsher lesson? And what about that Lu Hu? Are you really keeping him? Aren't you afraid he'll ruin things? I shook my head. Leaving Lu Hu there means whatever we want the Zhao family to know, is exactly what they will know. That's absolutely brilliant. Xiao Tong's flattery poured in endlessly once again. The elevator doors opened with a ding. Just as I was about to step inside, I almost bumped into a cleaner pushing a janitor cart. The water bucket wobbled, splashing a few drops of water. The person apologized repeatedly. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's fine. I waved it off casually and stepped aside, but my gaze inadvertently swept over her fair, delicate hands. Alarm bells instantly went off in my head. Xiao Tong scanned the toolbox at the bottom of this cleaner's cart, detected a weak electronic signal source. This person's identity is highly suspicious. Host, please stay on high alert. I narrowed my eyes, watching her retreating back. Then I naturally walked into the elevator, just took care of one, and here comes another. Just how many rats did they send in? Xiao Tong's voice was full of excitement. Host, should we track her? No need. Let's see what kind of tricks she's trying to pull first. Understood. Targets features marked, continuously monitoring her movement trajectory. Meanwhile, in the exclusive monitoring room on the top floor, He Wanqing had watched the entire process of me subduing Feng Wei. A stormy sea of emotions surged in her heart, in her cold, clear eyes. Besides shock, there was an added hint of admiration. Not only are this kid's tech skills unfathomable, but his tactics have also grown so astonishingly. Lu Hu, Feng Wei, the Zhao family. So Old Six had seen through everything from the start. He even set up a counter-strategy. In He Wanqing's eyes, the secrets and abilities I was hiding were far more than she had ever imagined. And when she saw my reaction at the elevator, the strings in her heart tightened once again. She was almost certain that cleaner definitely had a problem. He Wanqing immediately connected to the intercom. Jiwen, immediately pull up the footage for the logistics corridor and all security cameras in the waste disposal area. Lock onto that female cleaner wearing a dark blue mask. Set up surveillance secretly. Do not alert the target. I want to know exactly where the toolbox at the bottom of her cart ends up. Yi Zhuan's voice was crisp and efficient. Yes, President He. After issuing the command, He Wanqing's gaze focused once again on the elevator's surveillance feed. Inside the elevator, I stared at the jumping floor numbers. Xiao Tong, tell me, what was that person just now aiming for? Based on signal analysis, the target is in the logistics corridor, near the ventilation shaft of the core server room. There's an 80% chance she's trying to steal data. My eyes instantly turned ice cold. A cruel smirk curled on my lips, just as I expected. Then let's make sure they never return. As soon as the elevator doors opened, Yi Zhiyuan was already waiting outside, wearing a standard professional smile. Young master, President, he wants you to head over right now. A bright smile bloomed on my face. What a coincidence, Secretary Yi. I was just about to go report my battle results to Big Sister. Hurry, lead the way. The moment I stepped into the office, He Wanqing slowly turned around. She asked me, is everything cleaned up on Feng Wei's end? Absolutely spotless. I immediately patted my chest. That old geezer is as obedient as a grandson right now. Big sister, do you want to go interrogate him yourself? He Wanqing looked at my goofy demeanor and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. All right, let's go take a look. Roger that. Right this way, big sister. I instantly switched into lackey mode, leading the way to Feng Wei's office. Seeing us come in, his legs gave out and he almost knelt down. President He. Young Master He. He Wanqing didn't say a word. She walked straight to the main seat and sat down elegantly. I pulled out a lollipop and popped it into my mouth. Don't be so nervous. My big sister is just here to listen to a story. Take everything you just told me and explain it all over again, in detail. Under our watchful eyes, Feng Wei trembling confessed everything, from how the Zhao family approached him, to how Lu Hu was planted here, and the intel he had leaked. He didn't dare hide a single detail. He Wanqing just listened quietly, but her expression grew increasingly colder. The Zhao family's reach was much longer than she had thought. They were simply unbridled. While sucking on my lollipop, I occasionally chimed in with commentary. The Zhao family's price is way too low, isn't it? That kid Lu Hu is quite the actor, huh? Whoa. They even asked about trivial stuff like cafeteria procurement. Is the Zhao family that desperate? Host, your mouth is way too toxic. Xiao Tong was laughing convulsively in my mind. This is called lightening the mood. Got it? I retorted righteously in my mind. He Wanqing, listening to my constant bantering, felt her temples throbbing. She shot me an icy glare. I immediately straightened my back, quickly taking the lollipop out of my mouth. I promised with a serious face. Big sister, please continue the interrogation. I absolutely won't interrupt. As Feng Wei's confession neared its end, I felt the atmosphere in the office become so heavy that it could almost drip water. But right at that moment, Xiao Tong's voice suddenly exploded in my mind. Host, we have a situation. That cleaner is making a move. Her target, is Deep Blue's defense logs and the entire network topology map. Hearing this, a cold glint flashed in my eyes. Quite the appetite, huh? This is definitely the handiwork of that old fox, Lu Long. Xiao Tong, on the contrary, got excited. Host, do you want me to directly physically silence her? Or launch a mental attack? A wicked smirk curled on my lips. No need. Let her steal it. Once that big gift is delivered right to their doorstep, that's when we'll watch the digital fireworks. Beside me, He Wanqing's furrowed brows instantly relaxed. She picked up her coffee and took a gentle sip. For the first time, She felt that handing Deep Blue over to me seemed quite interesting. Meanwhile, in a dimly lit secret room, Liu Long was gloomily biting on a cigar, his eagle-like eyes locked dead onto the main screen. He Xiaofeng stood nervously behind him, not even daring to breathe loudly. A technician suddenly turned around, shouting excitedly, "Brother Long, the mole is in position. The data is starting to transfer. Deep Blue's defense logs and topology map are downloading. We'll be able to grab the He family by the throat soon." "Excellent." Liu Long slammed his hand hard on the table. A ferocious, uncontrollable laugh spread across his face. "He Wanqing actually dared to challenge me? Once I strip you down to your underwear. Let's see how you cry." He Xiaofeng stared at the rapidly scrolling data on the screen. His eyes were filled with greed and the thrill of revenge. The technician's fingers flew across the keyboards, leaving after images. Defense logs received at 70%. Topology map parsing at 80%. 90%. It's almost done. The entire hideout was filled with an ecstatic atmosphere of impending success. However, just as the data progress bar hit 100%, an ear-piercing burst of static noise exploded from all the speakers. The next second, countless cheeky, pixelated avatars covered every inch of the screens with mocking faces. At the same time, a deafening EDM remix of Most Dazzling Ethnic Wind blasted through the entire room. "What the fuck is this? Quick, turn off the speakers." "I can't. The console is unresponsive. It's a virus. We've been infected." The hideout instantly descended into chaos. It was a complete mess. The terrified technicians frantically smashed their keyboards, but there was absolutely no response. "What the hell is going on? Stop this thing right now." Liu Long roared, grabbing a technician by the collar. The technician was already pale with fear. "Brother Long, our system has been completely hijacked. This virus isn't just formatting our hard drives. It's also simultaneously uploading to our cloud backups." "What?" Liu Long felt a lump in his throat. He almost spat out a mouthful of blood. "Gee, I swear I'm not human if I don't tear you to pieces." He Xiaofeng was so scared, his face turned green. What the hell did that bastard do? Meanwhile, I was lazily slouched in my chair, with a lollipop in my mouth, scrolling through my phone out of sheer boredom. Suddenly, Xiao Tong's cheerful voice rang in my mind. "Ding. Target has been successfully infected with the auspicious colorful clouds. New Year Fireworks Edition Forced Data Destruction Program initiated. Reverse contamination is proceeding simultaneously." I clicked my tongue. "Xiao Tong, your taste is way too tacky. Next time." That set them up with some death metal rock. I guarantee it'll send their souls straight to heaven on the spot. Xiao Tong immediately chimed in excitedly. "Host is brilliant. Xiao Tong is writing this down in the little notebook right now. However, what if that guy Liu Long gets scared to death? Does that count as a workplace injury?" Hearing this, I rolled my eyes hard in my mind. "You trash system. Your focus is weirdly suspicious. It'd be best if he just fainted from the scare. That would save me the trouble of dealing with him myself." He Wanqing clearly heard my inner complaints. She elegantly picked up her coffee cup, perfectly hiding the uncontrollable smile at the corner of her mouth. This kid did a really beautiful job. But to Feng Wei, who was watching our smiles from the side, it felt like two bolts of heavenly lightning, striking directly on his forehead. What on earth are they laughing about? Did they find out I tipped off the Jiang family? Are they going to silence me? Host. Major discovery. Target. Winter Feng Wei's heart rate has spiked to 180. Xiao Tong's voice rang in my mind once again. "It's probably because that mysterious smile of yours just now scared the living daylights out of him." I shot Feng Wei a playful glance, marveling inwardly. With this kind of mental fortitude, he can't even compare to that old fox Liu Long. But well, since he's so terrified, shouldn't we comfort him a little? "Host is brilliant. I suggest you unleash a friendly smile, paired with Big Sister's death stare. The effect will be doubled." I thought this idea was simply fantastic. "Manager Feng, what are you shaking for? Is the AC too cold, or do you have a guilty conscience?" Feng Wei's pupils instantly dilated in shock. His lips trembled like a leaf. He couldn't utter a single word. He really does know everything. He's a devil. "Look, my big sister and I are both reasonable people." I looked at him and continued. "Since you're willing to abandon the darkness and provide us with intel, we highly appreciate it." I paused on purpose. "However, my big sister here absolutely despises two-faced backstabbers. Tell me, if you turn around and run off to tip off the Jiang family again, what do you think will happen?" Although I didn't finish the sentence, the underlying meaning in my smile pierced ruthlessly into Feng Wei's heart. Ding. Target's psychological defenses have completely collapsed. Loyalty is skyrocketing. Xiao Tong began a real-time broadcast. He Wanqing, listening to Xiao Tong and me echoing each other, couldn't help but twitch her lips again. She smoothly took over my words. "What he just said is exactly what I mean. Feng Wei, you only get this one chance. Our Heshi group doesn't feed freeloaders, and we certainly don't feed traitors. You understand what I mean, right?" Feng Wei wailed with a crying tone. "President He, I swear from now on, alive I am Heshi's man, and dead I am Heshi's ghost. I will definitely redeem myself. Please, give me one last chance." Hearing this, I finally switched back to a normal expression. "All right. Remember what you said today. Clean up the accounts for me. And of course, if the Jiang family contacts you again, you know what to do, right?" "I know. I will report to you immediately." Feng Wei's eyes were filled with the relief of surviving a disaster and absolute submission. I waved my hand and followed He Wanqing out of the office. After we left, Feng Wei completely collapsed onto the sofa, panting heavily. looking as if he had just walked through the gates of hell. In the hallway, I immediately reverted to my lazy demeanor. Big sister, how did I do with the psychological warfare? Not bad, right? Wanqing gave me an exasperated eye roll. You just have too many wicked ideas. You really scare people half to death without a second thought. But inwardly, I was incredibly smug. Big sister is clearly praising me. Host, your level of self-satisfaction truly makes Xiao Tong bow down in admiration. All right, stop being so glib. Wanqing waved her hand, reverting to her capable female CEO persona. I have a few meetings later. Just wander around the group on your own. Remember, don't cause any trouble for me. At noon, I'll take you to the newly opened Yunding for lunch. Yunding? Hearing this, my eyes instantly lit up like searchlights. Is it that legendary place where the average cost starts at 4 figures? Long live Big Sister. I promise I'll be as well behaved as a panda today. Wanqing shook her head helplessly. She turned and walked toward her office. I watched her leave and immediately showed my true colors. Hands in my pockets. Whistling, I started strolling around. Freedom. I'm liberated. 5 million is waving at me. A massive feast at Yunding is waiting for me. After wandering around for a bit, I felt this floor was a bit too quiet. So boring. Xiao Tong, run a scan for me. Are there any fun places in this building? Target found. 49th floor. Deep Blue Control Center. Currently, the entire staff is in a state of high excitement. Also, Qin Feng is frantically searching for how to elegantly become an apprentice. Hearing this, I was instantly amused. To think this kid still hasn't given up. Let's go. We're heading to the 49th floor to check out the commotion. And while we're at it, I'll inspect the empire I've conquered.